Dimensional Havoc Robot League's 2025 Open World Championship. It's our 6th round of the season, and it's so good to be back. Our KO show had some amazing knockouts and some gruesome fights, and I am so glad to be joined by my good friend, Kyle Kroos. Kyle, how have these fights been?
Oh my gosh, Sam, we have been breaking hearts and breaking bots all day. It's been amazing. I'm so happy to be here with you for prime time.
I'm so happy to be here for prime time, and I am so stoked for this 30-pound bracket. And we're looking in the cage right now at our first match of the night, where we have Phenomenon and Synthesis 30. But Kyle, there's just one thing left to do. Let's
lock it
and rock it. All right, Ricky and Adam in the booth, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sam. We are ecstatic to be here in the play-by-play booth. My name is Ricky Willems. This is Adam Wrigley. We are going to be bringing you all the action. We're going to be weighing in on every fight and keeping you up to date with what is happening in every match. Let's get right to it. Our first 30-pound fight is right now. Our first competitor from Bowie, Maryland, Brandon Bennett-Young. One of the most intense competitors with one of the most intense robots, Phenomenon! A stunning vertical spinner.
And he will be going up against Corey Nason from Team Pandemonium out of North Providence, Rhode Island, and his robot, Synthesis 30. A brutal vertical spinner.
We are going right into cage one. These robots are ready to go. They've been powered on. They're going to be making their way to the corners. Adam, who's your money on in this fight?
Whew. This is quite the matchup. Two hard hitters with great records, but you got to think Phenomenon, Brandon Young, has the advantage here. Synthesis 30 has so much power, but as we've seen over the years as it competes here, it's hit or miss.
Yep. Brandon Bennett-Young, one of the most concentrated and focused competitors that we have. Both of these robots have qualified for champs each year since 2023. That gives you an idea of the pedigree and the success behind each of these machines. It has just been so impressive year after year. Honestly, you get in the match with either one of these robots, you're going to have a tough time.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight.
And
Robots
away
fight.
we go. Both robots off to an interesting start. Phenomenon winning the first exchanges, but looking a little unstable in doing so.
Oh, and there goes our floor.
No movement on Phenomenon, and the weapon seems to be spinning down. What's happened?
That does not look good. This is not on purpose. Are they going to request the unstick here? They're getting counted out.
Yeah, I can't tell if that shard of wood
No unstick
is
request.
very interesting.
Knockout.
And they're just going to take the knockout.
Wild, absolutely wild, Adam. Something must have gone seriously wrong.
Wow.
Brandon knows his robot very well. I'm sure he has a very good reason for doing what he just did there. See, a
That
little respectful bow.
was not what I expected.
No,
Phenomenon, usually very durable, very liable robot. And we see Synthesis come out a lot and have those types of reliability issues. But here, the script is flipped, and Synthesis 30 is moving on. Could this be their night for a dumpster?
very, very strange. That's going to put Synthesis 30 in a great spot as it moves through the various components that it has moving forward. It's always nice to walk out of one of these matches without having to do a lot of repairs, especially against a robot like Phenomenon. That almost never happens.
Yeah. We're going to have to take a look at that replay and see just what happened there. Did it snipe a power switch or a key, or what happened?
Who knows? It is really hard to tell. It was a big exchange, even though the robots didn't go flying.
Yeah.
That can do a lot of damage, but something tells me there's a deeper story here. Of course, the winner here, Synthesis 30, is going to be going on to the semifinals. They're going to be fighting either KaZaA Determination or Maccabot. It's we'll find that out in that quarterfinal fight in just a few minutes. Very interesting.
Safety first here. Don't want to stand on the floor next to your bot. Safety lock in.
We're going to go to Kyle. Maybe he has a little more information for us. Kyle, how you make?
I'm doing fantastic, Ricky. Adam, thank you so much. Listen, I only know one thing, and that's that Corey Nason, especially with this Synthesis 30, has two modes. Either that thing limps to the box, or it's a world beater. And what we've been seeing all day in the preliminary rounds and in the KO show is world beater. We're going to go up to the pits with our pit reporter, Richard Tiemann. Richard, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, guys. The break is over. We are back to NHRL primetime robot action. Welcome to the primetime pits. You may not recognize it, it's been so long, but we've got the usual suspects, heavy hitters, familiar favorites, and a couple of maybe even Cinderella stories mixed in there. But as you can see, we're humming, we're buzzing, we are ready to get primetime rolling along. So I'll keep you guys updated up here as the news breaks, whatever that may be. But for the meantime, we'll send it back to you.
Richard, thank you so much. We do have some more information on that last fight. We're going to go cage side with Sam Hansen. Sam Hansen, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Maybe perhaps better than Brandon. Brandon, what happened there?
I think it just turned off. I think the robot's still mechanically fine. It's taken bigger shots than that all day long. But when the radio looking at during the fight just didn't respond, it just sort of turned off on its own. So I think the robot just sort of died. Kind of annoying, but it's kind of what happens in a world of fighting robots.
Kind of annoying indeed, but I know you'll be back. We'll definitely see you in December. And Kyle, back to you.
What an unfortunate set of circumstances for Brandon Bennett Young and the Bone Dead Robotics team. Some of the best competitors here at this event. They will be back. We'll be seeing them dishing out big hits soon. But today is maybe the day for Corey Nason and Synthesis 30. Let's go broomstick. Okay, yeah, that's what I like to hear. All right, so we are here at prime time. This is our prime time crowd. Look at how jammed this is. We were all here for the KO show today, which is a brand new offering from the NHRL. And now we are back into prime time. We've had a nice long summer break. And the energy is infectious. The people are excited. And we've got so much robot carnage coming your way. And there you see Peter Garnache coming out with the steel chair. That can only mean we're ready for more big robot action right here in the big box. Yeah, Peter's just taking it easy. Taking it easy. Ready for the fights. Ready for the day. KaZaA Determination, a new offering from Joshua Reinhardt. Out here with a different weapon type. Little glow plug action. Something completely different than their normal flame setup. KaZaA won a dumpster in March with a flamethrower weapon. This is KaZaA Determination. Similar, but not the same. Glow plug instead. So to call this action, we are going to go to Adam Wrigley, we're going to go to Ricky, and we're going to go to the booth.
Thanks so much, Kyle. This is going to be a fun fight. I think we're going to have some robots flying in the air, if I could be so bold.
Yeah, so what are we looking at here? So we've got not a flamethrower, but
We've got an articulated glow plug robot. So this is a last-minute change. Unfortunate situations it conspired such that KaZaA Light has been retrofitted basically with servo motors that jut out very hot pieces of metal. This can melt into opponents. It can do some damage. It can potentially start a fire. The downside is it is much more limited in its
Shorter
damage
range.
potential. It's
Yeah.
very short range. It has to get someone up on these forks. The upside to it is it's very hard to damage that system. It's very, very well protected.
and Maccabot is plastic.
That's true. Covered in plastic. anything could happen.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight. Robots
Away
fight.
we go. A very quick movement from Maccabot, but not the best aim. Those are some good hits on KaZaA Determination, but they don't do a lot of damage when you can't get under your opponent. Interesting. I don't know how well Maccabot has been doing when inverted.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're getting much action on those glow plugs. Maccabot doing well here. Maccabot is a scaled-up beetle, and the beetle that it's scaled up from was a scaled-up ant.
That's kind of impressive lineage for a robot like this. You can see the glow plug is just extending just a little bit, not quite enough to reach.
Can't quite reach that juicy plastic.
This is a good pin, but I will point out half of KaZaA Determination is up against the wall.
Yeah, and they're unable to release the pin, meaning that's not quite going to count as they go to the judges.
Oh, interesting. Look at the holes being sawn into our arena floor by the wheels of KaZaA Determination. Now, if I'm Maccabot, I am trying to keep one half of KaZaA from freeing the other half. That would be my strategic move right now.
Look, if you could get, if you could get one half dead at the end of the match. Now that's interesting. Is KaZaA got an unstick, but then was like, hey, we'll unstick the other half, and then they did.
Oh, very interesting. It does seem the weapon is down on Maccabot.
Yeah.
That is going to count against them for sure.
This is going to be hard now for them to win a fight where you can't really tell if the opponent's weapon is working or not. Certainly difficult to disable it.
Well, this becomes very important. The judges are going to have to look closely at KaZaA Determination and make sure that both the glowing and the articulation is still functioning.
Maccabot, tough time here. Not really going to win a pushing war against these long forks of KaZaA Determination.
Yeah, plus both halves of KaZaA Determination are cleated in their wheels. They get incredible grip.
Yep. With those cleats, they dig into the floor, and you're able to get more pushing force than your robot weighs. With traditional rubber wheels in these wood floors, you can't really push harder than your weight. Cleats, you can.
Interesting. We had a lack of movement there for a moment from half of KaZaA Determination.
Yeah.
They seem to be having intermittent problems.
Very intermittent on that half.
That's going to matter when it comes time to appraise the situation at the end of the fight. This will be going to a judge's decision.
Of course, the trick is with the judge's decision, they are human. They can't look everywhere at once. Are they seeing that?
It's a great question. We don't know for sure. We're going to have to find out.
Certainly a interesting fight to judge. That'll be tricky.
Now, you can see throughout the match, even after the weapon went down on Maccabot, the weapon belt was spinning. So the motors, the controllers, the batteries, all functional. It's just a linkage problem. And that's really interesting because this fight did, oh, look here. Half of KaZaA Light not moving
Unable
at all.
to get back to the door. They're frantically trying to show movement in both halves. But if they can't show movement in that other half, and it looks like only half movement in this half, that's not going to be great.
Oh, and just the gentlest of weapon spins. Oh!
Hey!
Wow. So this is interesting because the proven time is limited. So they can't sit there forever to get this to work. But that could have been what turned the tide.
I think they have half time.
This is going to be wild for the judges to decipher.
Our second wacky function test of the day. Now, the reason we do this is to show the judges, what works at the end of the fight. And we're seeing partial weapon on Maccabot, KaZaA Light, partial drive. One half seemed completely dead.
This is nature healing itself.
Could wildly swing the damage score.
Incredible.
Well, we look forward to hearing the results of that. Both teams discussing amongst themselves how they think it's going to go.
Yeah, it's a confusing match. If I was cage side, I would be a little bewildered. It's such a unique robot to get to this point in the tournament, and then for a very non-standard outcome, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure the judges will be poring over the rule book to understand better how this should go. In the meantime, while we wait for that decision, we're going to be going back to Kyle. Kyle, take it away.
Guys, that was an incredible matchup. What an unfortunate way to end it there for Maccabot. But they did get the weapon spin up at the end. This was their first time facing off against a true multi-bot, and they've never really faced off against a control bot. I mean, kind of, sort of earlier today, but they've never really been through the ringer with one. And we're going to see what the judges have to say about this one. But we are going to continue on with 30-pound action as these guys get their bots safe and out of the box. Coming up very shortly, we're going to have Colossal Avian taking on Deadrise, Matthew Zhang and Joe Copenhaver. Two very different robots. They've never even faced each other before. They almost did. There was, I guess you could say, a forfeit earlier today. Colossal Avian is 1-1 against big disc spinners, and Deadrise has never fought a hammer saw before. So we'll update you with the judges' decision as it comes. Check out this prime time crowd. In the meantime, we're gonna go cage side with Sam Hansen.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm here with Max of Maccabot, and Max, that was kind of a nail biter. Tell me why you were so excited after the match ended.
I mean, the weapon wasn't working during the match, halfway through it, and then near the end, we saw it spin up. So, yeah.
All right, well, I am glad to see it spin up. We're gonna see how it influences the judge's decision, and until then, back to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Sam and Max. Very much so appreciated. Relatively new offering from Max. He's been building this style of robot in lower weight classes for a while, but he has sized it up to this 30-pound division. That is no easy task. Everything gets a little bit more fragile as you get bigger in combat robotics. You have to be a lot more mindful of your design and how you battle harden your gear. Prime time is in full effect here at the National Havoc Robot League. Come on by if you're ever in the area. We've got fantastic seating. We've got food trucks. We've got activities for the kids. We do sell earplugs and headphones to protect ears. And you'll need them, especially when there's 30-pound fights going on. It's a little intense. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to update you with the judge's decision from that last fight. That'll be appearing on your screen shortly. So who won? Was it KaZaA Determination, or was it Max Renus and Maccabot? You decide at home, but our judges have KaZaA Determination by a long shot, winning all three categories there, ready to move forward in this tournament. So Maccabot, Max, thank you for coming, but you're going home now. All right, we are going back to Cage 1. That's right. We're gonna have Colossal Avian taking on Deadrise. And to call all this action, we're gonna go to our robotics experts in the booth. Ricky, Adam, take it away.
Thank you, Kyle. We're excited for this matchup. We've got our first competitor, Matthew Zhang and Matthew Zhang and their robot Colossal Avian.
And he'll be fighting Joe Copenhaver from Team Honeycracked and his robot Deadrise.
Both of these robots have been terrors. Colossal Avian just rains damage from above. Deadrise coming from below to uppercut people into the roof. it's really two polar opposites in terms of the damage that they're giving here.
Yeah, you know, both sides of the same coin in some ways. We've seen a lot of configurations from Deadrise here as the day has gone on. They've had wheels, they've had treads, they've had wedges. Colossal Avian and Deadrise were matched up in May, but Deadrise had to forfeit. So this is a little bit of a kind of a redo for this fight.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight.
We've been seeing huge hits from Deadrise all day long. Can Colossal Avian avoid it, or are they just the next in a long line of prey?
It's a great question. Is Colossal Avian a raptor?
Oh, look at the setup here. Colossal Avian. Oh, they're not spinning up. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, no.
What a missed opportunity for Colossal Avian. That was the dream shot of any overhead attack robot.
And they almost line it up again. Will they regret missing that opportunity? They certainly do right now.
Such a big hit, and then piece is missing.
An entire front, side, and fork have been torn from Colossal Avian. And another shot lined up. Can they get it? No. Deadrise escapes.
This is an incredible grappling match. So many possible moments. This is perfect for Colossal Avian. Can they deliver?
Can they reach without hitting that weapon?
Maybe they wait for the end of their pin. No, something must be wrong with that weapon. And a huge hit on Colossal Avian. They're able to self-right, which means the arm works.
Is the weapon still spinning? I'm seeing a loose belt there on the front of Colossal Avian, but they're able to back Deadrise into a corner. Their drive down. Deadrise still looks 100% here. Going in for kill shots, trying to just get a little bit more.
They just need to go a bit deeper, and they can start hitting those gooey center at the middle of Colossal Avian.
These high-speed verts can't get a lot of engagement in these instances. They need to back up and get a run going to
they
get
need
those
that
big
bite.
hits. Yeah.
Feeds and speeds.
Able to get a little bit going there. This could be it for Colossal Avian. Even with just these small bites, there's not much they can do.
Now, we are under a minute left, and it's hard to see Colossal Avian coming back from this. They are getting torn apart.
There's only
Sparks
so
are
much
flying,
metal.
and that's a tap out.
We didn't see a lot of the big hits we've been seeing all day from Deadrise, but it didn't matter. They chewed apart Colossal Avian bit by bit.
Joe Copenhagen looking mighty relieved after that fight, wouldn't you say?
Breathing a sigh of relief. You gotta think, what was going through his mind when he's upside down underneath the blade of Colossal Avian?
Well, let's see if we can divine that in the replays. Look, pieces being torn off of Colossal Avian. That weapon on Deadrise is just deadly.
Colossal Avian 2, big opportunities early. Unable to take advantage of them. I think they're gonna be thinking about that first shot.
Yeah, that's gonna haunt them. That's gonna be coming back with them after this event.
What could have been if they could have brought that weapon to bear on the bottom of Deadrise? Not gonna happen. Deadrise escapes nearly unscathed.
Look at this shot on the right. Oh, we missed it for a moment there, but the aluminum is just gouged to the point where it's falling apart.
Like a large prehistoric cat got at it.
Exactly. I guess that goes with Colossal Avians.
Or I guess
a big bird, if you will. Yeah.
More appropriate animal.
Yeah, perhaps. But, wow, just the damage. What I love about this is, yes, there was a tap out, but that robot was still moving. It was still functioning. it wasn't going to be for much longer.
No, I mean, they were still working. They're trying to save what was left of the robot. The chassis, I think, is going to the great chassis storage yard upstate, you know, a nice farm for chassis. But
They can go out and graze.
yeah.
We're going to go off to Sam. I hear all sorts of excitement cage side. I bet he can clue us in.
Oh man, that was brutal, Joe. You made a huge mess in our cage. How was that for you?
That was brilliant. I was just telling them that was my longest fight of all time. I've never gone the distance like that before, just grinding away on an opponent. It was unreal. I've never experienced something like it.
Truly amazing. You made a ton of bot parts for these kids that are hungry for them. I can't wait for your next fight.
Go feed those children those bot parts.
Thanks. Kyle, to you.
Thank you, Sam. Joe, that was an amazing performance. But right now we are getting ready to load back into the box. Look at this crowd going nuts out there. This is fun for all ages. Bring the whole family. We've got everything you need to have a good time, including bot parts. Joe Haverson just dealing them out on his way out the door. And now we are getting ready to finish out this round for the 30-pound division. We're gonna have two heavy hitters in this competition coming your way very shortly. But could you believe the amount of destruction in that box? Absolute insanity, absolute pandemonium in here. Deadrise having a great year at the National Havoc Robot League, as well as in just the entire Northeast Combat Robotics scene. Joining Team Honeycracked, really improving a lot of the reliability in their bot, bringing it from the level that they were at when they were doing extremely well in Motorama to now being an extreme competitor here at the National Havoc Robot League. Very happy to see it. All right, so up next, we're going to have two of the heaviest hitters in the entire arena today. And right here we have MIT Combat Robotics team, Ryan Duarte's God of War, Ares. And on the other side from Team Pandemonium, it's Lyndon Siegel and Overlord, two massive hitters. To call this action, we're going to go to our combat robotics experts, Adam and Ricky, in the booth. Could you call this fight for us?
Oh, we absolutely can, and I want to emphasize what you said. Two of the heaviest hitter robots we have here at NHRL. These robots have a record of 21-3 in fights that end in KO, and 3-10 in fights that end in JD. What does that tell you, Adam?
Well, I feel like, could we somehow see them both lose a judge's decision here?
Somebody has to go home with a win. It's just the rules.
You never know what's going to happen when you go to a judge's decision. I don't think this is going to go to a judge's decision. These are two of the biggest hitting robots we've got.
I think this is going to a pile of parts. That's what we've got. Two destruction perfectionists, I'll put it that way.
We've been looking forward to this fight all evening. As we heard, it was set up. Ares is our top seed tonight, right? And this is going to be quite the show for them. They have been dialing in that robot, competition from competition, always getting a little bit better. And it has been part of many epic moments here at NHRL.
It really has. There is probably no robot in that weight class that can throw an opponent quite like Ares. However, that weapon blade that it's going up against on Overlord can bisect an opponent with a good hit. It's just incredible, the power in these two robots. So much kinetic energy, so many sparks that can fly. I am hyped.
Here we go. Hold on to your butts.
It's about to get real.
Five, four, three, two, one. Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. Ares with a quick start and a couple of big hits. Overlord on its back, not moving.
Oh, and the belt is loose on the weapon already.
Yeah, the wheels are not spinning. The belt is loose. They're popped up into the air.
They call for an unstick, and Ares is happy to give it to him.
Ares wasting no time. They want to cut that robot in half, and they just might do it.
They tap out and then get off the wall, but they save what's left of their frame in doing so. Ares moving on.
Easy, decisive win. They have got to be excited about that. Ryan Duarte he is hyped today. I heard him talking earlier. We live for prime time. Yeah, the rest of the event is fun, but you get in the bowl, you get the house packed, you have a fight like this about a competitor like Overlord, nothing compares.
It's what we're all here to see. Overlord is a great robot, has been dominating people all day, and it was just a plaything for Ares in that fight. The rest of the field has to be scared right now, having seen that performance.
I think everyone has already got a healthy level, I'll say, of fear for Ares. This is only confirmation bias. So just hammer that home.
Ares is looking as good as it's ever looked tonight, and I'm not sure who can stop them on their way to a golden dumpster.
It's a very good question. I have a feeling we're going to see a few more robots flying through the air before the end of the night. Let's see a few more flying through right now.
The replay is basically just the entire fight here.
Yeah, a couple of incredible backflips on Overlord, courtesy of Ares.
Call for the unstick, and here it is. You're unstuck. See the frame just bending and flexing as they tear it apart. Let's go. MIT is ready.
We're going to head over to Richard. I think he's in the pits with a little more information for us.
That's right, guys. We are working our way through the 30-pounders, and I've got Joe of Deadrise. You know who your opponent is. How you feeling?
Yeah, we just saw that fight. Looks like we're going to be fighting Ares tonight. They were here the last event we showed up. Definitely a high contender. Those MIT boys really know how to build a bot well. Can't say that I'm not slightly terrified, but you know what? Every fight today I've had the healthy level of fear. I'm just going to keep going. Whatever the robot puts out, I'll be happy with. We're here to put on a show. And if we flipped up, we destroy the arena, so be it. If we destroy Ares, even better.
You guys have both ripped through the day, so, I mean, what's the approach to a bot like Ares?
Full power, full chaos. We're going in 100% throttle on weapon, 100% throttle on a drive. If we have to box rush, so be it. I know they gyro just as much as we do, so we got to put on a little bit of show. Maybe we flip ourselves and go aerial, who knows? But all I know is I'm putting weapon on weapon. I'm going to see how good the weapon is.
All right, full power, full chaos from Deadrise, and now we're going to kick it back to Sam.
Thank you, Richard. I am here with Ryan from Ares, and what a brutal knockout. As the #1 ranked 30-pounder, is there a certain pressure to this tournament?
Probably. I think, we come in and people have expectations, but we're here on a testing trip, and any wins we can get along the way, it's all the better.
And anything you have to do to fix this spot for your next fight?
Just put the R back on, otherwise it's ready to go.
That's what I like to hear. All right, Kyle, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sam. It is always a pleasure to watch Ares and the MIT Combat Robotics team tear up the box. But now we are going to get ready for the most competitive 3-pound division in the entire world right here at the National Havoc Robot League. Let's look at this 3-pound bracket and see where we're at. So as you can see, we have Jelly Baby taking on ColdSnap at the top of the bracket. Red Panda taking on Nitro Hornet. Hook'em taking on Elytra. And Comet taking on Mini Touro at the bottom of the bracket. Any of these bots could win. Several Golden Dumpster winners in this lineup. Looking forward to this tournament. We'll be going into this bracket, and already there you see, loaded in, Miles Sim and ColdSnap going up against Paige Layfield and Jelly Baby. Two of the most entertaining bots that we've had here today. I gotta tell ya, people have been sleeping on Miles Sims all tournament. So let's take a look at our first competitor, Jelly Baby. This is a flexible lifter bot. Paige is an amazing driver. Do the thing, that's what she wants all of her opponents to do. She's one of very few lifter bots that has ever won, and this is ColdSnap. Miles Sims, one of the best designers out here, shuffler bot with an incredibly powerful undercutter blade. He's just been tearing up the competition today, looking absolutely indomitable. Let's go to our combat robotics experts in the booth to call this action. Adam and Ricky, go away.
I would rather not go away. I would rather call this fight. I'm so excited for these two robots. Paige and Jelly Baby have just been incredible all day. In fact, really all season.
I am a huge Jelly Baby fan. I say that every time Paige is in the arena. I love this robot. It's so flexible. It's such a great use of 3D printing. What's interesting in this matchup is looking at both these robots using extensive 3D printing in very different ways.
It's amazing to me. Jelly Baby has made top 4 at 4 out of 5 of its events. That's incredible. That is a level of performance that we see from almost no robots.
That is so hard to do in this weight class. This is an enormous field. It takes not only tremendous skill, tremendous design, it's a little bit of luck to do that too. That's crazy.
It is phenomenal. Now let's talk about their opponent. They're going to be going up against ColdSnap. ColdSnap has been dishing out damage left and right today. Incredible fights, incredibly damaging fights. And honestly, it's danced around arenas in a way that just puts a smile on my face almost every time.
So we see a lot of shufflers here at NHRL. We've got that big weight bonus, 50%. ColdSnap's weighing in at 4.5 pounds here in this 3-pound fight. But we don't see a lot of shufflers that have the maneuverability, the reliability, the control of ColdSnap. The way that it moves around the arena is incredible.
It really is impressive. It doesn't even look like a shuffle-based robot. Remember, the shuffle robots that we have here, the weight bonus they get is substantial.
Yeah.
So if you can crack the code on a shuffle-based robot, it really becomes hard to beat you.
They do have downsides. They are a fragile mechanism. They don't tend to take hits as well as wheels, and we've seen that tonight as robots with shufflers, dominant performances, suddenly can't move.
Yeah, it certainly is not foolproof, but I want to point out here, it's an advantage for them to be have extra weight, of course.
Yeah.
But Jelly Baby has been known for going up and trying to lift the house bot, which weighs infinitely more than ColdSnap will ever weigh. So maybe that weight bonus is a little bit less of a factor in this fight than it might be in some others.
Jelly Baby is not afraid.
Never will be.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight.
And away we go. Interesting deflection. Jelly Baby just kind of turned away by ColdSnap. That weapon just said, nope.
Jelly Baby now backing in, actually getting over top of the weapon there. Interesting strategy.
Yeah, it seems to be working, though. It's such a flexible robot. The entire thing, practically, is bubblegum armor.
Jelly Baby, super consistent this season. They're the #1 seed for this tournament. ColdSnap has been amazing tonight. They're the number 8.
Really well done. This is a fantastic pin from Jelly Baby. Now, if their signature move is going, that's interesting.
Oh, they're a little flip. You got to be careful, right? They don't want to flip it into that undercut.
It's true. It's true. Wow, that brand new shiny floor is not going to last long.
ColdSnap bouncing around the arena. Got to think this first minute so far has gone to Jelly Baby, able to kind of play with ColdSnap at will for most of the first minute.
look at the acrobatics on ColdSnap. So much energy in that weapon makes it do strange things.
And control is not just your ability to control your opponent, it's also your ability to control yourself. It doesn't look good if you're flopping around the arena.
It really doesn't, unless you can demonstrate that it's an intentional flopping. Then, which that's a thing in cases. It's just not the case right now.
It's not usually what ColdSnap tries to do.
Exactly.
Great pin here again by Jelly Baby. It is very difficult to not only drive a robot in this manner, but to design one that can take these hits. It's not easy.
Not in the least. This is a lot of iteration. A beautiful pin from Jelly Baby.
ColdSnap has so much power and has been tearing apart robots at will. Jelly Baby has been able to take it so far.
Nigh on invulnerable.
I say this a lot, though. It only takes one well-placed hit to turn a fight, and that is always on the mind of a control robot driver while they keep coming face first into these weapons.
Yep, you got to remember, at most, there's a power switch, an inch of depth into that robot.
Oh.
What a pit! What a move!
And Jelly Baby now trying to keep the house robot away from the unstick. This is allowed, and if they can do it for 20 seconds, they will get a KO victory, despite ColdSnap requesting the unstick.
And they're going to do it just in the nick of time. Incredible work. Paige and a nearly patented move at this point.
I wonder, is there enough time? Oh, wow!
We've never seen the housebot volley over a robot before.
Oh, and they get the unstick. But Jelly Baby right back, that had to be a last-second unstick.
You know, we talk about bingo cards here. Woo. That is a once-in-a-season occurrence.
Brett could not be held back. Jelly Baby thought she had it.
What happens when an unstoppable brick meets a 3-pound object? Well, it goes right over it.
Might take a little while.
Beautiful fight. This will be going to the judges. I don't think that it is a mystery how this is going to go, but let's take a look at the replays. What a fun fight.
So much power in ColdSnap, held at bay by Jelly Baby.
You can see,
wild.
Look at that control. To be able to maneuver your opponent around the arena while it's just gyro dancing ahead of you.
And just using all of its power against itself by slamming it into the floor, into the wall, into Brett.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible work from Paige. I believe we are going to get a little more information here in just a moment, but not before we get this look of pleased victory.
How much more perfect can you drive a control bot than that fight?
The relief, the support. We're going to go to
All right,
Richard
guys.
to get a developing story.
Oh, hey, yeah. We're up here in the Primetime Pits. I'm here with Zach of Void. There was some concern as far as your upcoming matchup with Sievert. Go ahead and walk me through this.
So basically, we went to go do a Twitch test, and we were getting a weird bug where as soon as he would pull the trigger to drive forward, he was actually starting the weapon up. So we did this 4, 5, 6 times. All comes down to little baby electrical gremlins, and it came to on the bullet connector for the drive ESC. The heat shrink kind of had been worn down, and it was touching the side frame. So it was, hopefully we believe it's now fixed, but now we're getting everything electrical taped up, adding a bunch more electrical tape in the robot, preventing that.
I was going to say, I see a lot of electrical tape, so we're going to take a shot at the bot here. Are you guys going to be all right?
Oh, yeah. Should be good. 100%. And this will be the 4th time they fought. There's no way they're not doing this fight.
All right, guys, you heard it from the source itself. There's no way they're not doing this fight. Sam, let's send it down to you, bud.
Thank you, Richard. I am here with our primetime housebot driver, Josh. And Josh, I've seen you do some pretty incredible unsticks, but I have never seen you come out of an obstruction like that. Did you know you could do that?
I actually did not. I just really wanted to keep that match going no matter what, and I just kept flooring it back and forth, trying to get traction on anything I could. Somehow I got a little bit of traction on top of Jelly Baby, was able to ramp right over her. That was incredible.
All right, thank you so much. Keep up the good work, and over to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Sam. Very much so looking forward to our next matchup. You can see up in the pits, feverishly trying to get this gremlin-filled robot working for the next round for the 12-pound division. Will they be able to do it? I don't know. It's a rough spot to be in. We've got more 3-pound action coming your way, but at 8:15, the Void fights Sievert. Stick around for that 12-pound action. So we are gonna go to cage 2 very quickly for some 3-pound action. We're gonna see Dylan McCarthy and Nitro Hornet take on Red Panda and Jaron Leibson. All right, fellas, let's call this fight. Adam and Ricky, take it away.
We absolutely will. I am loving these fights in Cage 2 today. What do you think, Adam?
This has been a great day all around. Nitro Hornet finished 3rd at the very first NHRL event ever in 2018. They're back tonight to try and do a bit better.
7 years later. Can you imagine anyone in that building being able to foresee the situation we're in now?
How far we've gone.
3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Incredible. We are off and away. Great hit by Red Panda right off the bat. A second volley sending Nitro Hornet flying across the arena.
Red Panda really getting some hits in here.
Yeah, this is all Red Panda so far. They are winning every exchange, not by a mile, but by, I don't know, a 20,000 leagues under the sea at this point. Oh, a bit of smoke coming off of Red Panda.
And it looks like the belts, it's a bit loose. But up until that point, they were winning every engagement on a geometry tip speed. I don't know what it was, but they were winning it. Now it seems like the belt a little bit slacker than you'd like, and no speed on that weapon.
Yeah, meanwhile, Nitro Hornet has its weapon dragging against the ground, and then it's popped up into the air.
Pops itself up into the air.
Yeah, I did see the weapon spin up on Red Panda for a moment, so it's not completely disabled, but it is certainly not up and running the way they want it to be.
I wonder if that was a reaction from hitting the weapon on Nitro
No, it was
Hornet.
enough to self-right just now. There's energy in that weapon. It's just not reliable anymore. You can see there's
the
a
drive sure is as they shove Nitro Hornet around the arena.
What a pusher. There is also a belt on the ground. I don't know which robot it's from, but given the lack of weapon on Nitro Hornet, I have to assume they are the ones missing the belt. Yeah, you can see there that belt is just outright missing on Nitro Hornet. Right side drive is down as well. Red Panda just, the stonks are soaring at him.
Yeah, you gotta think Red Panda's feeling good here. A minute left. Both robots with issues, but Red Panda able to drive around very well. Nitro Hornet can't say the same.
Now you can see the twitches on Red Panda kicking in just a little bit. It's not gonna matter. Their opponent has tapped out, and they'll take home maybe not an easy win, but at least not a long, dragged out 3-minute matchup with a ton of damage.
We'll have to see what caused the weapon to stop running. I don't know if it was the belt or something else, but sometimes if you don't know exactly what's wrong, it can be harder to fix than, hey, the side ripped off, let me bolt a new one on. So they'll have to get to work, figure that out. But let's take a look at the replays and see what happened.
You can see incredible engagement from Red Panda. They are able to throw their opponent. Nitro Hornet had no answer for this at any part of the fight.
No, big hits. Every engagement was going Red Panda's way. Was it the tip speed? Was it the geometry? I don't know, but they had it. And they won it.
They just had it. We're going to go over to Kyle. Kyle,
Hey,
take it away.
Jaron Leibson has got that swagger back, and that WPI domination of the 3-pound bracket is still happening. But right now, we have a judge's decision ready for you from the last 3-pound fight. And your winner is, by split decision, Paige Clayfield and Jelly Baby. That was a very close matchup, but Jelly Baby able to absorb anything that Miles Sim and ColdSnap threw at her. Not a surprise there with that judge's decision. Very close, but very good. Right now, we're going to go up to the pits with Richard. Richard, what do you got?
I've got Matt of Sievert. Matt, we just talked to the guys with Void, who there was some concern there. What about for you guys? Any concerns, any issues?
Nah, I'm all good. I've been ready. I will wait forever for Trevor. I have a score to settle from the last time we fought, so he better fix his stuff, or I am going to lose it.
I love the competitive spirit. So is the anticipation killing you yet?
Nah, I'm just going in chill. When I'm chill, I do a lot better. I'm also exhausted. It's been a long day. But I know the defective guys will be ready and will send me into the ceiling.
All right, so both teams have said it. This fight will happen. Sam, back to you.
Thank you, Richard. I am here with Jaren and Red Panda, and Jaren, Red Panda stinks. It smells really bad. Based on its smell, can you assess the damage?
I can assess that my weapon motor is no longer attached correctly, and it was seizing against my uprights and smoking. So there's a solid chance I killed my motor or my ESC, or both. Who really knows?
All right, well, good luck with the repairs. Nice fight, and I'll see you again. To you, Kyle.
All right, thank you so very much. We are going to be loading into Cage 2 for more 3-pound robot action. In this matchup, we're going to have from Texas, Andrew Palladini and Hookem, 2 control-style bots. Very excited to see them back in the arena. They'll be going up against a big 2-wheel drive vert by Tristan Hart. This is Elytra. So excited to see them. Also from Greenville, Texas, it's Texas on Texas violence. Oh, fascinating. But right now we have loading in Comet and Mini Touro. So we're going to have Team WPI going up against the Riobots team from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Comet has been on an absolute tear today, and this Mini Touro from the Riobots team is probably their most successful bot in the tournament today. We're going to call this fight from the booth. Adam and Ricky, take it away.
Very excited to call this fight in particular. Who's your money on this fight?
I got to go with Mini Touro here. They've just been having everything go their way. They've been dominant in performance and also luck.
It's really interesting. Mini Touro was here back, back in 2022. That is correct. It finished 3-2, which is a good record, especially considering, we don't talk about this enough, the difference in meta between Brazilian robots and American robots. I don't know what kind of context to put in, but it's kind of like going across, here it is, going over to Britain and suddenly everyone's driving on the other side of the road. You might be an expert driver in the United States, but it's going to throw you, at least for the first hour or two.
Or, North American versus Russian versus Swedish hockey styles.
Yeah, listen, the first time that you see that toilet flush in the opposite direction in Australia, you're not going to know what to do.
But today, they're 5-0, and that has been an incredible performance. They've had, like I said, combat robotics isn't just about how good your robot is and how well you drive. There's a bit of luck in it. Tonight, luck is on their side. Is it playing out here as we're seeing repairs happen to their opponent in the arena? Never good when you have to take the top off.
No, it is a bad sign for sure. I think, yes, it looks like they think that it is just a single loose connection. You have very limited time to do these repairs cage side. It is extreme pressure. It's incredible that people do this. I don't know how best to say, mad props for being able to pull this off when it works. It is fantastic.
I've been in this position where the ref is staring over your shoulder, you're bolting on the top, they're counting down the seconds, you get the last bolt in with 1 second left, begging the robot gods for it to work, and then it does, is the greatest feeling.
It's true. Yeah. You make some offering of your own blood to some unholy being, and then suddenly it springs to life, and you can break your friend's toys.
We'll see.
Wonderful.
Did it look like it was working? Well, they're going to go for it.
They're at least going to shut the door and find out.
Like the Let's Go Robots chant in the background.
Yeah, just delightful. It sounds like it's working. It looks like it's working. I think we've got ourselves a fight on our hands.
Here we go.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Fight, robots, fight.
Tentative out of the box from both teams here. Interesting. Comet backed into the wall, and then it's kind of bouncing off Mini Touro.
Yeah, it's an interesting approach for sure.
We've been seeing this all night with Mini Touro. So much power in that weapon, they can sometimes have a hard time containing it.
It's true. It's absolutely true. They are known for their...
Wow! Oh, exposing the backside there, caving it in, Comet with a perfectly timed hit.
What a critical error to make at that moment.
They dialed down the weapon to try and get some control at exactly the wrong time. Comet now just waiting for them to expose that already damaged panel.
Now, look at that bouncing. That's a combination of weapon misbalance and also just damage where they are now scraping the floor.
Ooh.
Makes it incredibly hard to control Mini Touro.
That difference in control is giving Comet tons of opportunities around the juicy bits. Comet unseeded in this tournament. Mini Touro coming in at 22. This would be a big upset if Comet is able to knock Touro out on the run they've been having today.
I gotta say, even though they have no control, that weapon is still going berserk in the arena.
It has a lot of power, and it only takes one hit to turn the tide here in the right place. Comet not giving him an opportunity.
Oh, and the weapon has gone down on Mini Touro.
And that could be it without a weapon. What are they going to do here, Ricky?
Well, they're certainly going to drive a little more reasonably. Without that weapon bouncing them around, suddenly they have a tremendous amount of control by comparison. But how are they going to damage?
Oh.
They're high-centered in the arena. They may well ask for an unstick, but I don't know how much it's going to help them.
Probably high-centered on a piece of themselves. So many of them strewn about here. Nuts and bolts and armor laying all over the floor. And they get stuck again. Brett trying to help. Now it looks like I can't even see if the wheels are spinning. 40 seconds left on the clock, and I think Comet is going to be taking this one. The Mini Touro is going to be going back home to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
You can hear the countdown kicking in.
Brett has helpfully returned them to their corner.
Knockout.
From whence they started. And a knockout for Comet. That's got to feel good.
It's got to feel good, and if I know the Brazilians, they are just excited to have had a good fight, a good showing, and there you can see it. Looks on the faces. Picture says, 1,000 words. Nobody's walking away unhappy from this one.
Robots are fierce competitors, but they love robot combat. Mini Touro flying through the air for the vast majority of that fight. I don't know if Comet left their wheels once.
Yeah, if so, just barely. This is an incredibly one-sided match. Mini Touro they hung in there. I will say that they hung in there despite having pieces removed time after time.
The amount of hits they took, and they almost made it to the bell.
With a working weapon.
Yeah.
Incredible. But it just wasn't enough. It was no match for Comet. You can see our cage crew tidying a bit. We do a bit of damage here and there. That's okay. It's designed to take it.
Cleaning up all that debris.
We're going to head back to Kyle. He's got a few more updates for us.
Thank you very much, fellas. The domination of WPI in the 3-pound weight class continues. Connor Howard and Comet moving forward And earlier we saw Jaren Leibson and Red Panda winning their fight. That means 2 of the bots in the final 4 for this tournament are WPI. This is the prime time pits. You can see it's even started to empty out a little bit now as we get deeper and deeper into this tournament. Team WPI right up there, front and center. Team MIT right there behind him. Paige Clayfield by herself in the center of the pits. The MIT team standing by with their God of War Ares. All right, we're gonna go cage side with Sam Hansen. Sam, what do you got for us?
Oh, you know, just a bunch of future robot fighters here in the stands. I've got a bunch of kids who are loving this robot combat. The bull is packed, and you know what? If you all are interested in starting in fighting robots, NHRL has the perfect path to entry. It is the Crash Course Kit, where you sell Eric, and you can get all the parts that the champions use. You can get all the information you need to put together your first robot. So Kyle, back to you.
All right, so we are now loaded into the box with Hook'em from Austin, Texas. This is some Texas on Texas violent. Andrew Palladini has built 2 very dangerous control bots. And over on the other side, from Greenville, Texas, it's Elytra by Tristan Hart, a big vertical spinner. We're gonna call this action in our play-by-play booth with our robotics experts, Adam and Ricky. Take it away.
Texas on Texas violence here as Elytra goes up against Hook'em. We have been seeing some great fights out of the TPU Wedge robots tonight. Will Hook'em be able to continue this? Could we have a full kind of TPU Wedge final in the 3-pound class?
Very, very possible. It could be ahead of us. It would be a heck of a driver's match if we do. This is, wow, these are rookie bots, aren't they? These are green designs. It's Hook'em's first and Elytra's second event.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have a strong memory of Elytra fighting in the past either. So this is kind of the biggest feature that they've had so far.
No, I don't think they did too well in their last event, but they're certainly on a run here tonight. They have been showing off some impressive driving and damage ability with that rather large, thin weapon. And that type of weapon is the downfall of TPU robots.
Exactly.
Because it can slice into them, big bite, big tear.
You really need to just see to believe the damage that can happen. Now you can see the builder here is leaning in, listening closely to the robot as he turns it on and off. The idea being that you can hear the little chimes, the little song that it sings for you when it powers up properly. That can be difficult to hear sometimes, especially when you have 1,000 eager fans crowded around you.
The electronics inside, they make a nice song, sort of like a washer or dryer when they turn on properly, and they make a dissonant song when they don't turn on properly, so you're liking to hear the nice noises, so you know everything's good to lock the box.
Exactly, exactly. Now, Elytra has been doing amazing work today. It's just a question, are they going to be able to do it on a robot as resilient as Hook'em?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Of course, in order to hit them with the weapon, you need to get under them and hook them very quickly, getting under Elytra.
Interesting ground game exchanges, and interesting that Hook'em is staying mostly separate.
You could hear as the weapon dug into the frame there, taking out bits and pieces.
Little chunks coming off of Hook'em, but this is so far very much Hook'em's game.
One lets go, the other one comes in. Elytra fast, speedy, trying to get around the side, able to get around the side, couldn't land a hit.
No,
There it
there's
is.
the hit they needed. They need about a dozen more of those spread across both robots to make this work.
1 minute in, Elytra, one big hit, but Hook'em, a lot of pins.
Yeah, the control is all Hook'em right now, but Elytra really hoping that the damage is going to overcome that.
It's hard to even count the amount of pins Hook'em gets because they're near constant. Oh.
Now, there is a interesting bounce. Wow!
Hook'em using the lifter there,
Yeah,
popping Elytra into
however,
the air.
One half of Hook'em looks to have struggling drives. Amazing hit.
Hook'em,
That's what
a little
Elytra
bit
needs.
of a hat on top of Brett there, able to
And
separate.
another.
This is a change of speed in the second minute of this fight. Big hits from Elytra.
If Elytra can keep doing what it was doing a moment ago, keeping the two halves separate and outmaneuvering, it has a very good chance in this match.
As we head into the final third of this fight, it is anyone's match. As one half of Hook'em looks dead.
Another
Elytra says, I'm going to
incredible
make
hit.
sure you're dead.
There is still some twitching, but that robot is so close to ineffectual as to not make a difference.
That is a big change of the damage score. These control robots cannot risk that type of loss in damage. And with only one robot to fight, Elytra is switching this game.
They are setting a whole new tone for the last 30 seconds of the match. Can they keep it going, or will these pins just be too much to overcome?
20 seconds left.
Oh, look at this use on the lifter, lifting their opponent into
Can
the
they
air.
get one more hit as we're ending this fight?
This will be going to the judges, but it could be a big moment if they can deliver one more hit. And instead, they're pinned to the wall. That is your match. This will be a judge's decision. This is a tough one.
You see a lot of pins from Hook'em in that fight. But when you think about what is the weapon supposed to do, they only got one real lift on Elytra in that fight.
Yeah, maybe
Elytra
two.
delivered a lot of
a
big
dozen
hits.
or more that set their opponent flying into the air. That's going to count much more heavily for the aggression score. It's going to count for damage, and I don't know if the control from Hook'em is going to be enough to offset
Because
that.
the judges do look at, are you using your weapon in the aggression score? It's not just running into them, and I didn't see a lot of weapon usage there from Hook'em.
We're going to take a
Did
look
see
at the
lot of
highlights
pins.
here.
This was the name of the game. For most of it was pins, but big hits from Elytra. Damaging blows, cutting through the TPU. Nobody's feeling too confident going into that judge's decision. You have no idea what's going to happen. I always say, if you don't want to lose a judge's decision, win by knockout.
Yeah.
Unable to do it here, that's a tough one to call.
It really, really is. We will find out, within the next couple of minutes. The judges usually are pretty speedy. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pretty good spread in terms of the scores that come back from the judges on this one. There was a lot of room for interpretation.
That was a fun fight, a lot of control, a lot of good driving. Let's go to Sam, see what he has to say.
Yes, thank you, Adam. I am here with Tristan from Elytra, and you really turned it around in that match. What did you do to prepare for that fight?
I put these spade tip forks on to try to get underneath them because their forks are impossible to get underneath if you use normal forks. So I use these sharpened ones that have like titanium, and they're really low to the ground, and they let you turn into the opponent. And that's as much as I could do to really beat a robot that durable, basically.
Well, it looked good, and I can't wait to see what the judges have to say about it. Good luck with that. You can wait.
I can wait.
All right, well, thank you, Tristan.
All right, thank you so much.
Kyle, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sam. That was a close one. Floor scraping with these robots. That's how tight the tolerances have to be in order to win the ground game here at the National Havoc Robot League. But right now, we are going to get ready to head into our 12-pound division. It has been banger after banger all day in this weight class. This is the bracket as we see it right now. At the top of the bracket, reigning and defending world champion Slam Plan will be taking on Robo-Cat. Just below that, we have The Void and Sievert. Below that, we have Touro Jr. and Adamant Barrage. And we have Maximizer taking out an alien threat in the Xenomorph. This is going to be an epic battle between these bots today. I cannot wait to see it. And loading into Cage 1 right now, the business cat himself, world champion Slam Plan. They'll be taking on Robo-Cat. Let's call this action in the booth with our robotics experts, Ricky, Adam, take it away.
With the utmost pleasure, Kyle. This is going to be a fun fight. Slam Plan is always entertaining. Robo-Cat, a monster in the box. Neither of these bots have been KO'd in 17 combined fights. That's a bonkers statistic. We have a new statistician in-house here at NHRL, and I am constantly amazed, not just at the quality of the robot statistics themselves, but learning these new tidbits. I would never have guessed.
and that's 17 fights that went to KO.
Right.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
But they've fought 38 fights overall. One of our stories of the day, would Slam Plan make it to championships? Well, they're trying to punch their ticket right now. Robo-Cat, seed number 9 for this tournament. Slam Plan coming in, #1 ranked in the world.
Incredible. The entire undershell of Robo-Cat has been ripped off.
That's it. And in case you were wondering, would Slam Plan qualify? Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes. Fantastic. That was one of the most damaging hits that we have had here. That had to be frustrating for Ben Haas.
That was brutal. Robo-Cat going up against basically a robot designed to disembowel them, successfully completing the task. The large wheel vertical spinners were made as a counter to the small four-wheel drive vert style robot, and you can see exactly why here, as everything is gone.
Everything. We're going to go right to the replays. I hope we can get a cool shot of that. You can see the weapon has already fallen off at this point. Robo-Cat just, unfortunately, driving only, and then suddenly comes back. See if we can get the moment here. There it is. Smacked. And interesting, I did not catch that. It was smacked from the bottom, and the force was so intense, it pushed the top off like one of those Newton cradle toys.
Looked like the base plate came off, the top plate came off, the weapon came off, the battery came off. Wow.
Fantastic. That is one damaging robot in Slam Plant. They will be cruising through to another match. We're going to have to see who they're going to match up against. In the meantime, we are going to go to Kyle. Kyle, what can you tell us?
That was a disappointing but predictable showing for Ben Haas and the Robo-Cat. That is an unfortunate matchup for them. Slam Plan is exactly designed to destroy that kind of robot. But in the meantime, we're going to go to a judge's decision from the last weight class. Let's see what happened in the 3-pound division. And your winner, unanimous judge's decision, Elytra defeats Hook'em. Congratulations to them. Fantastic. All right, let's go up to the let's go up and talk to Sam.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. I am once again here with Brendan Steele, and Brendan, that was another dominant victory. Is there any bot here that can stop you?
At this event, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna take it.
I think you might. We're just gonna have to find out in your next match, and I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. Richard, up to you in the pits.
Yeah, hey guys. So I went to talk to Comet WPI, and they basically gave me the because they are working on something. There's an issue that came up. They had this issue. Basically, the summary is the issue happened a long time ago, and they thought it was all sorted out, and it has reared its ugly head in that last fight, and now they are working fast. They are working frantically to try to get that resolved before the next fight. But yeah, as far as an interview, they said can't do it right now. I'm going to respect that decision, but they did give me a quick rundown of basically what was going on and what they were trying to resolve. As far as the details, don't have those for you guys, but this is a situation we're going to monitor up here in the pits, so we'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a stressful situation for this WPI team. But can I point out how nice it is that the drill matches the robot? That's a real dedication to the theme, and I certainly appreciate that. We're going to keep on and keeping on with the Comet fights Elytra at 9:03, by the way, thanks to that last judge's decision. So we'll get to see two hard-hitting bots in that 3-pound division. In the meantime, we're going to go to Cage 1 with two bots that are already loaded in. It is Ohio on Ohio Violence. That's right, it's Maximizer. And they'll be taking on Xenomorph. This is two amazingly hard-hitting bots. Xenomorph is a brand new build. Maximizer has done a ton of changes over the break, and they have all worked out pretty well, actually. We're going to look at this factoid right here. In 11 career NHRL events, Maximizer has made quarterfinals 10 times. Right now, we're going to call this action from our play-by-play booth. Ricky, Adam, take it away.
Thank you so much. Always love to see Maximizer in the arena, and Xenomorph is no slouch either. They've had some great fights today.
They sure have. Big vertical disc spinner dishing out big hits. Really nice TPU armor all around. Not a lot of juicy targets for Maximizer's whacking undercutter blade to hit. So we'll see how this plays out. They've got a nice setup. Who could take it?
Five, four, three, two, one.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. Both robots off to a screaming start.
Nice little keep away forks there on Maximizer's wedge.
Good hit, a little bit of debris coming off of Maximizer. Look at that gyro, what a dance!
Xenomorph ends up on their head with a belt
and
off.
the belt is gone, yes.
Maximizer lining up the hit.
I don't know that Xenomorph is going to be able to get back
There's
up
the
from
unstick
this.
request. Is Maximizer going to oblige? No, they're going to let Flow come in. No, there's some help. Another belt off there. That does not look good.
Interesting that the, I see. Oh, bit of smoke, some fire.
No flamethrower robots tonight, but we do have some fire in the box as Maximizer is going to take this one by KO with Xenomorph up in flames.
Those belts, incidentally, appear to be what link the front wheels to the back wheels. So with the back wheels on the ground, those belts are required if you want to have any movement. We saw the front wheels spinning. wasn't going to matter if they're no longer linked to the rear wheels.
Unfortunate, and then something caught fire, maybe a weapon motor jammed, drawing too much. Maybe it was the hit from Maximizer hitting a wire, a battery. Quite the roast. Anyone have some marshmallows?
You know, I would shy away from those marshmallows, but I'll take a fresh one if you got one. Boy, those flames are going up even more.
I think that TPU might be a bit flammable, Ricky.
Just a bit. It seems that the fire extinguisher in our house bot may be out of gas at this point. I have a feeling that our safety folks are going to go in with full gas mask with a fire extinguisher in just a moment.
Maximizer chant from the crowd there. They're happy.
Oh, there goes another cell of the battery. That robot is going up in smoke. We're going to need to put that out and get that out of the building ASAP. I'm sure our safety folks are suiting up as quickly as possible.
We do have a negative pressure system in the box, so all those fumes are being evacuated from the building. Safe for everyone in here. Carbon fiber starting to go up now.
Here we go. I can see the carbon dioxide.
Is that a meme? Are we memeing right now?
I think we may be memeing right now. There she goes. Jim Haney, fire extinguisher extraordinaire. Not only putting out the robot, but cooling it down. It's a lovely side effect of these robots. We're going to let the ventilation system do its job. You can see that sucked up in the air. We're going to go to Sam. I think he's cage side.
Yes, I am. I am here with Jake. Jake, you just caught a robot on fire. What's next for you?
I catch another robot on fire. That was pretty fun.
And then after that?
I think I got 2 more before final. So that would be finals. So it would be pretty cool to go out in a barrage of flames. So, you know.
I agree. I agree. Thank you for this flame, and I can't wait to see the next one. Thanks, Jake. Back to you, Kyle.
Wow, I love that for Jake Hoffman. David Dreyer from Kent State, Ohio, came all the way to Norwalk, Connecticut to get destroyed by Jake from Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's check out this replay of that destruction right now. As you can see, big, aggressive, and then stuck right in the keep away sticks there on the back of Maximizer. Jake able to shake him off. Launches him all the way into that corner. Jake coming back, trying to be aggressive. But there we see it, the smoke coming out, and then boom! The belt's hanging off, the bot's on fire, and big celebration from the Team Defective side of the box. Jake is celebrating. They're having the best time they possibly can. There's just no better feeling in the world than setting your opponent on fire. So their safety crew is now getting the bot ready to go in that dumpster full of sand. They will then take it outside and let it burn the rest of the way, safely away from our audience. We have a negative air pressure system inside of this box, which clears the smoke out very quickly. But we still want to take the utmost caution with our cage crew. So they're wearing respirators before they go out there and have to deal with all of this. And so they're going to lock that weapon. And then after they get that weapon locked in, they're going to remove this from the arena. That was absolutely insane. So Jake will be moving on into the next round with Maximizer. What a showing for Jake Hoffman today. And this was a great first outing for Xenomorph. David Dreyer built a cool bot. He's got some great plans for it in the future, assuming he can recover most of the stuff inside of it. David had high hopes of defeating Slam Plan today. And those hopes were dashed by Jake and Team Defective. All right, we're gonna go up to the pits with Richard. Richard, what do you got for us?
I've got Brendan of Slam Plan here. I mean, they don't even know who their opponent is, and they're already swapping out parts. It's going to either be Void or Sievert, so what's going on?
Yeah, so we took a bit of damage. The wheel is pretty gnarled up. I'm going to go give this to Ben after this. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting to see who we're fighting. I've got this copy here configured for Void, and then I've got another under the table configured for Sievert. So we'll just see, I guess.
Any preference on opponents, since obviously you got a little time to wait and see?
Oh, you know, I'd love to have Void again. We had a little score to settle last year, and also Avert is just an easier matchup for this type of robot than a horizontal, so it's kind of the strategic move as well. So, yeah.
All right, well, it sounds like there's quite a few scores to settle in this one tonight, so I'm excited to see how this one unfolds, and we're going to go ahead and thank you very much, Brendan. Send it back to Kyle.
Brendan Steele looking calm, cool, and collected. There are some bots that their type isn't good for him in this weight class, but I gotta tell you, he's pretty prepared. He's pretty ready to go. He's probably not looking forward to seeing a Sievert maybe at the end of the day or a Maximizer at the end of the day. But he's got a great chance regardless. I mean, this is the reigning and defending world champion. He's got the team huge boys behind him, helping him get the bot ready. But right here, this is where the drama is happening in the pits. That's the WPI table and Comet. Desperately trying to get that machine up and running. A lot of stress on that side. There you can see Jake working on his next version of Maximizer to get it out into the box. 12-pound division is shaping up to be an excellent one. All right, we're gonna go cage side with Sam. Sam, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Kyle. I'm here with Jim Haney, one of our referees, and the one that just handled that fire. What is handling fire like for you here at NHRL?
Oh, it depends a lot on the fire. Sometimes you have a battery fire, which you have to deal with a lot differently than that, which seemed to be more of a plastic fire. Ultimately, though, we have a lot of procedures in place to make sure that we secure it at the cage, then get it to a safe location to deal with properly.
Excellent. Thank you so much for all your hard work and for getting that fire out. And off to you, Kyle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in cage one, we've got from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and Team Riobots, Touro Jr. And on the other side from North Arlington, New Jersey, it's William Marchese, and he's got Adamant Barrage. We're gonna call this action with our combat robotics experts in the play-by-play booth. Ricky, Adam, tell me what you got.
We got two incredibly destructive robots in a very battered combat robotics arena.
I am so excited to see Adamant Barrage doing well here tonight, not just because their name contains my name, but Adamant Barrage made the quarterfinals in February and March and still hasn't qualified. I want to see them qualify, Ricky.
I think they can do it. It's a very real possibility. That is a powerful, powerful weapon, but they have to go through Touro Jr., and Touro Jr. is not going to take this lying down. However, I want you to take a very close look at Touro Jr. and at the parts. Notice the parts of Touro Jr. that are no longer there. That robot looks like it was chewed on by a billy goat. There are pieces, bits, paint, chunks, everything is missing. It's not just the paint job. It's been through hell and back. So is it going to make it through this fight? If it was fresh, I'd say sure, absolutely. I'd have high confidence. Is it going to make it through the fight now after having to claw its way through a brutal bracket? Anybody's guess.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Fight, robots, fight.
And away we go.
Uh-oh.
That is not a good start for Madden Barrage. They have lost their weapon belt. They will not be able to do damage in their preferred method.
And without that weapon spinning, there is an extremely high likelihood of them getting stuck on their face, as that tends to happen even when it does spin. But I'm not hearing Touro Jr.'s weapon either.
No, it is either broken or off.
So we mention this pretty much every time we see Adamant Barrage. They find a new way to do the thing. And this is yet again another new way to do the thing, with both of their prongs stuck under different parts of the corner wall. They're going to use their unstick here. With 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining, they're going to have to go without getting stuck again in a pushing match against Touro Jr. And is Touro Jr. damaged, or are they wound down playing it nice? We'll see as it keeps going here. Adamant Barrage and Touro Jr. locked in a battle. I gotta think this is damage to Touro Jr. at this point. Why wouldn't they turn the weapon on as we near the halfway point in this fight? And can Adamant Barrage keep themselves from their thing-doing ways as they dance and pirouette around the center of the arena? This is anyone's fight. Adamant Barrage coming in, seeded number 7 in this tournament. Touro Jr. having a little bit of a rougher go of things, seeded 15 today in the quarterfinals. Winner is going to qualify for championships later this year. It's the top 4 robots qualify. This is a pin by Touro Jr. They're going to release it. Adamant Barrage can't really get much going here. They are able to get under Touro Jr. sometimes. They had a couple pins, but it's been mostly Touro Jr. since the midway point. Oh, how different this fight would have been with the weapons working. But Adamant Barrage, it's interesting here. Sometimes Touro Jr. drives straight under him. 25 seconds left in this fight. Anyone's match. Adamant Barrage did use that unstick. Will the judges consider that? Touro Jr. not yet. As this fight is going to make it to the judges with only 9 seconds left. And Adamant Barrage shoved up against the wall to close this out.
That is the end of the fight. Frankly, I am surprised to see Adamant Barrage never put into another compromising position. That is a miracle. They should be counting their lucky stars.
I gotta say, the only part of that fight that went how I expected was Adamant Barrage finding a new way to do the thing.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
everything else
goes
was
without
great.
saying. You can see, I don't think anyone is ecstatic with how that went, but it's not heartbreaking either.
Someone has to win and someone has to lose, and someone is going to qualify for the championships in December. Who is it going to be?
Someone also, unfortunately, has to go home.
Yeah.
The nerve-biting, the nail-biting nerves at this point is tough.
Touro Jr. fighting out of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil from Team Robots has a little bit longer of a trip home. Adamant Barrage coming to us from William Marchese out of North Arlington, New Jersey, just across a couple rivers.
New Jersey has just sprung up so much. It's always been a mainstay location for combat robotics, but it has absolutely exploded in recent years. Some of the biggest events outside of NHRL are hosted there, and it has bred this legion of incredibly talented and experienced builders. Listen, you can make jokes about New Jersey sometimes. This is something every one of them can use as a comeback. You know what? Sure. Whatever, your traffic or I don't know. chemical plants, I don't care. We got the best combat robot builders on the East Coast, maybe in the world. They can take that to the bank.
And not the performance either robot was looking to make, but both have to be relieved that the opponent did pretty much exactly the same thing. And once again tonight, Ricky, I am very excited that I am not a judge.
You know, we have been getting our money's worth on these poor expert officials. I think we're going to go to Sam, and he's going to feel out how the competitors feel after this event. Sam?
Thank you, Ricky. I'm here with William and Adamant Barrage. And William, you've come so close to qualifying in December a couple times this year. Do you think this match is going to be the one that gets you in the World Championship?
I mean, honestly, I think they won. You know, I made sure that the judges know that their weapon went down because of my belt, which is unintentional entanglement. So, you know, I don't want those damage points for things that are technically not for the rules. But I did do some math. And I do know that when, with both Slam Plant and Maximizer winning, I am in regardless. And this is my 23rd NHRL. I've been doing this since 2021, and I have wanted to make it to the championship so badly. And I finally did it. I finally did it. And I'm just so happy. And just to everyone who has supported me, all my friends and family who have helped me along the way, just thank you so much. This means so much to me. I will be back, and I am going to give it my all in December. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, William. I can't wait to see you then. Great run today. And Kyle, back to you.
Thank you, Sam, and congratulations to William. So much hard work put in, but right now, we are loading in for our last 12-pound fight of this round. We're gonna have Team Defective versus Team Pandemonium. It's Trevor Summer and Void taking on Matthew Landry and Sievert. We're gonna call this fight in the play-by-play booth with our combat robotics experts, Adam, Ricky. Tell us what you got.
Well, I am happy to. Sievert has been one of my favorite robots for, well, I was going to say the entire day, but honestly, it's been for much longer than that. I've loved seeing this robot come back time and time again, and Void has put on a surprising level of performance today.
Yeah, this is going to be a classic vertical versus horizontal matchup. The big wedge leading to the big Drisk on Void. Sievert with the single-sided giant bar spinner. Big KO. Void actually KO'd Sievert back in April of this year, and so Sievert is going to be looking for some payback and revenge here in the arena. Let's see if they can do it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. I just took an interesting look at the statistics. Void is exactly twice as experienced as Sievert with exactly double the record of wins and losses.
So someone is going to mess up their percentages here.
Oh, interesting. The drive on the right side of Void is down. The left is struggling.
Sievert not really taking any chances here, going around. Oh, waited a beat too long.
Sparks are flying. That is an intense wedge on the front of Void. Sievert does not want to skip across it.
Sievert being a little cautious here. Oh, and they're stuck in the wall. There comes the unstick request. They immediately knew. Out they go. They got to be careful. They can't do that again.
No, that you get one, and oh no! The weapon motor is smoked on Sievert. That's what happens when you get stuck in the wall.
When you get stuck like that, motor at full speed, it draws massive current. Sievert a little bit too cautious off the bat, had opportunities to back a Void, but Void still having drive issues. Can they take advantage of the massive opportunity they've been given? Oh, tearing off the wheel guard of Sievert. But with one side of drive down, they keep high centering themselves.
Yes,
they're going to have to request an unstick soon.
Sievert et al., though, is barely driving. I gotta imagine that something to do with that weapon failure has spread like some sort of pox into the rest of its electronics.
So here's the unstick request with just over a minute left. They should be able to get unstuck. What are they stuck on here? Are they high-centered on themselves? In which case, they might not be able to get unstuck. The wheels are spinning, but the bot's not going anywhere, and they've been pushed all over the arena. It looks like something is stuck on the bottom, and they are going to get counted out here, Ricky.
Oh, look at the sparks flying. It's their wedge, Adam. Their wedge has been pushed all sorts of wonky. Their front armor package.
Knockout.
Wow.
Wow.
Void with a huge opportunity after Sievert burns out their motor, but Sievert is going to take it home.
We're going to jump right into replay, see some more of those hits, maybe see the moment that it all went wrong for Void. That was a big hit right there. You can see Sievert just getting extracted, a surgical extraction by the house bot, but it didn't matter. It had already overloaded its motor, and the smoke begins pouring out. Still, they put up a noble fight. They took a few more good hits, and in taking those hits, they damaged Void. They caused it to no longer be able to translate across the arena floor, and that ended up being the match. Look at the emotion. Look at that victory. That's real, folks.
Look at the camaraderie here as the team comes together. That meant a lot to them, taking that win home. Up and down fight for both teams. Unfortunately, one of them has to go home. Void not making it, but Sievert punching their ticket to the next round. Sam, what have you got for us?
Yes, I am here with Trevor and Void, and after a tough loss, Trevor, do you know what happened?
Yes, you can see here, this small piece of armor got bent into my wheel and totally shut it down. Had no movement on this side, and this was the only one that was working for most of the fight. This is a side that went down early. I'm not entirely sure why, though.
Well, great run today. I can't wait to see you come back again to compete at NHRL. And back to you, Kyle. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. That was an amazing moment. Very much so looking forward to our next fight in that weight class, but that was intense. All right. We've got a judge's decision. And your winner, Touro Jr. by unanimous decision. But keep this in mind, because Maximizer wins, that means Adamant Barrage is still qualified for the World Championships. Congratulations to Touro Jr. Congratulations to Adamant Barrage. That's a happy ending. Everybody wins. That's nice. All right, so we have more action coming your way here very shortly. As you can see up in the pits, we've got everybody feverishly trying to get their bots ready for the next round. We'll be showing you that next round of the 12, 3, and 30-pound division. And tonight, we will crown 3 Golden Dumpster winners. We'll send 12 people to the World Championship. Right now, let's check out our 30-pound bracket. Let's see who's left. Up at the top of the bracket, it's Synthesis 30 taking on the multi-bot of KaZaA Determination. Down at the bottom of the bracket, we've got Deadrise taking on Ares. That's just a lot of death on that bottom side of the bracket. That's going to be scary hits for days. Whoever survives that will go on to take on whoever wins the top of the bracket. Man, this 30-pound division has been hard hits all day long. Corey Nason has been driving the best 30-pound matches of his life today with Synthesis 30. I'm very excited to see how he's able to do in the next bracket. Now, if you check out the crowd here tonight, everybody is ready to go. They are looking forward to these semifinal fights. All right, first up, in the 30-pound division, the God of War, Team MIT Robotics, Ryan Duarte and Ares. And they will be facing it's Deadrise, Team Honeycracked. They are ready, they are vicious, and they've got the tracks back on the bot. This is an amazing robot, just very new to the NHRL scene. Josh Haverson is just crushing it in this weight class. We are so excited to see them. All right, Joe Copperhaven is rocking and rolling. We're gonna go to the booth to call this action. Adam, Ricky, tell us where we're at.
We are gonna jump right into the tail of the tape. You've got Ares from Ryan Duarte, Chula Vista, California. A nasty vertical spinner with a 21-8 record, and coming in here with the absolute skill of being the God of War.
That's a good skill. They're going to be going up against Deadrise from Joe Copenhaver out of Lexington Park, Maryland. A nasty vertical disc spinner with a modular drive system, sitting on a 6-3 record with a skill of very intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I can buy that. If being a God of War is a skill, then being very intimidating can be a skill too.
Can you intimidate a God of War?
Yeah, it's true.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Look at those hits. Woo! Wow, quite an exchange. Deadrise.
Deadrise is bent.
Yeah, they gave a good hit there, but their left-hand drive is basically non-functional now, and they've lost a fork.
The whole frame, to me, looks much more crooked than it used to, but Ares in the background having a hard time self-righting. There they go.
No longer a problem. I can see little sparks flying here. Deadrise is throwing little sparks from its weapon. Something is seriously amiss.
It's not as square as it used to be. Oh, the arena's a little less square.
A little less flat, to be sure.
Ares says, let me help you out. I'll bend that frame back. They're trying to tap out. That's it.
So much power in these weapons. Incredible work.
Oh, I think the inner glass panel of the arena has a quite large crack in it. Don't worry, we have an outside panel.
That's what the outside panel is for, but it's always dramatic when the inner wall cracks. This will head to a judge's decision while our staff handles repairing the inside walls.
You can see the reflection on the outside wall of the inside wall. That crack just a touch over our limit for how large a crack can be, and the fight continuing.
Yeah, we allow basically a 2-inch hole in that inner layer if it's very thin, and no cracking. If it's a brittle failure, it gets replaced. If it's a brittle failure that takes off the entire arena wall, then we definitely stop and replace immediately. That is the largest crack that I think we have ever had. Absolutely incredible work. You know, we give these away as a memento to the team that managed to do it. I've been waiting all event for when this was going to happen, and it finally did.
Whew. Look at those chunks.
Now, just to give people a little bit of reassurance, to make them understand the level of safety here, the inner wall is much thinner than the outer wall. It cracks much.
Well, they're getting ready to put the new one in, so this won't be too big of a delay here in the big box. But wow, what a hit. The arena, of course, remained safe the whole time. And you got to think it's funny, the people on the opposite side of the arena noticed it, not the ones standing directly behind.
We're going to go to Sam. He's cage side. I bet he has a great view of this.
I sure do. I am right here with the best Lexan replacing crew in the business. Eamon is on it. We've got our 9/16 ready to pull all these bolts in the inner frame that is holding this cracked panel. They're going to pull top, bottom, left, right. That will allow us to pull the broken panel out and then right back in with the new one. And they're hopping in right now to get into action. We've got everything prepped tool-wise in a very specific cage repair case. We've got our pry bars. We've got, let's see, we've got our vice grips. Because as some of our robot fighters know, as they progress through the tournament, their robots get damaged. And when your bolts are getting all gnarled up, they're harder to pull out. So you gotta go to some extreme measures. And it's the exact same thing with our cages. But quite frankly, I love destruction, whether it's the robots or our cages. We can always make them tougher, but no one was in any sort of harm during this. The inner layer is thinner than our outer layer, so it would have to get through that, an air gap, and an even thicker panel of Lexan to get anywhere near us or the crowd or anything. So gonna head back to the play-by-play booth, Adam and Ricky. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sam. You know, as someone who has to be involved in repairing these, I get a little grumpy sometimes as a thought, and then I see it and I just start smiling. The destruction, when destroying your robotic opponent isn't enough, and you got to take it out on the arena, I have to respect it.
You know, this comes with the game, right? That's why the arena is designed like this. It's designed for repairability.
We're going to hop into replays for a minute. Maybe we can see the critical minute. I think the replay is essentially going to be the entire fight at this point. Away we go. Yep.
Big hits right out of the gate. Ares getting tossed by Deadrise, ripping off the fork. Deadrise unable to really move after this. Ares took a little while self-righting. Can see the bend in Deadrise's frame. You know, these big verts don't have a lot of horizontal stability. The front is essentially held together by the axle. And if you don't design that stressed member properly,
here it goes.
You're going to bend.
We are about to jump up. Bada bing, bada boom.
Everyone's waiting for it.
We know it's coming at this point. There it is, a smack. That's the hit that did it. Popped up into the arena wall. You can see, yes, there was a moment there. It's like, do we continue? Do we not? What's going on?
Is this a tap out? No. We've got a little sneeze guard damage on the inside. Wow.
So, in a situation like this, because we can't get the robots back in the arena in a timely manner, and because then there's all sorts of problems with battery levels and repair and getting it in and motors cooling down, all that sort of stuff, basically the match, to be fair, has to go to the judges while we work to replace the panels. There's a lot of things that the judges are going to look into, but it's the same basic rubric, right?
you're basically pretending that was the fight, just happened to be shorter. But I know how I would judge it.
I think so as well. When you see a robot that's tweaked to that level, it kind of is banana-shaped, it's having a hard time driving, that's really all you need to know.
And, you know, one robot tossed the other robot into the wall, causing this whole
That's got to
break
count
situation.
for something.
I feel like that's going to be sitting in your head a little bit as you're thinking on this one. Aries with quite the dominant performance there. You know, the first hit, they did take a little while to rejuvenate, but boy, did they handle the rest of that quick fight.
Yeah, once they settled themselves, they were really able to point and shoot, and it was all Aries from then on out. So bravo to them. I have a feeling it's going to be a very solid judge's decision. And we're going to be back robot fighting in just a few minutes here. I think our pit crew's record is just about 7 minutes to replace a panel.
Do we have a nickname for them? Are they the Lexan lads? Or,
oh, that's fantastic.
The Polycarbonate Pros?
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. You at home, please weigh in on YouTube if you have ideas. We're all about having little custom embroidery shirts. I think they deserve them for the work they're doing back there. Fantastic work. Call out to Eamon Aiden, the Cage Crews, Jim Haney making a quick decision, pausing the match. It is so much goes into it. They do such a nice job. Wow, you can see the Aries folks already back in the pits doing their work.
Time is of the essence at this point in the day. Not a lot of time between fights. Use every minute you have to get your bot back to 100%.
Yeah, you are guaranteed an amount of time, but in a way, this is a bit of a godsend. They, by breaking the arena, they've enabled themselves at least that extra 7-10 minutes.
Yeah.
The judge's decision is in, I'm being told. Stand by. We're going to go right to the graphic on your screen. Your winner decisively is Aries across the board, 12, 12, and 13 out of a possible 17 points from each judge. Bravo to Aries, incredibly decisive, no surprises there.
I think that feels right to me. You got to give some points to Deadrise for the impact that first hit had on the fight, but Aries, dominant victory, dominant win in the judges' eyes.
Yeah, you know, as a consolation prize, I think since Deadrise was the robot that broke the wall, they should go home with at least half of it.
Yeah.
You can see the
we can split it in half.
Yeah. It takes us some effort, but it'll get there. You can see the new wall going in place, the new polycarbonate panel already in place. Now it's just a matter of getting those retention panels.
Which king was it with the baby and cut the baby in half?
Herod?
Yeah, do we offer them the panel, and whoever says, no, don't cut it in half, they get the panel?
There, I like that, yeah. No, except that they were trying to cut the panel. Whoever wants to preserve it as one piece, we know they're not a true Roboteer.
Okay.
It's the inverse. I like your thinking, Adam.
The inverse of the parable.
Yeah, you want the parable to end with the not the baby, but the panel being cut in half.
Cut the panel in half.
Everybody's thinking it. You might as well. You know, we could bring Deadrise back and give another shot at it.
Oh, the panel pals are almost done here, getting us bolted back together.
Yep, a little bit of a time. You can see Ed working tirelessly. Old Man Ed, as he's affectionately known here at NHRL, seems to have his fingers in everything, and everything's a little weirder, but definitely fixed after he walks by. In the meantime, now that we know the winner, I think Richard is in the pits ready to talk to some of our competitors. Get the scoop.
Well, not talk to them, talk about them. It is one of the most frantic times in the pits that I've ever been a part of. I've been turned down twice now for interviews. Of course, Jake, though, he is all business right now as he's working on his bot, because basically what I was told is that he needed the time. He's got too much work and too little time to do it in. And I asked, okay, so like, what's the big issue? He said, well, depending on who we're going to fight, which it came down to judge's decision, he's like, our tail is messed up. Except he didn't say messed up. But I guess that limits the configurations and the bot options that he's got going into this next fight. So he's trying to figure out what he's working with and who he's fighting against. And like I said, it's too much to do and too little time to do it in. So we'll keep you guys updated on the situation up here with Maximizer. Meantime, we're going to send it back to Kyle.
Thank you so much. Maximizer having a rough day up there. It comes down to attrition at this point in the tournament. How well can you keep your bot together? How well can you keep your wits about you? It comes down to sleep deprivation. Have you been eating today? Where's your blood sugar at? It's all adding up. It's all a part of what makes winners and losers and people going home with golden dumpsters or just, you know, pieces of their bot. The panel is almost swapped out here. You can see the MIT team, Ryan Duarte and his crew. We've got a YouTube poll up. Who will complete their repairs first? Aries or the Cage crew? 75% say the Cage crew is gonna win it. I believe it. It's a lot less complicated of a machine. Its only purpose is to keep everybody safe, and there's very few moving parts. MIT team looking confident, looking happy. Looks like we kind of finished all at the same time, honestly. Nicely done. A rare tie. That Aries team looking ready to go. Do they earn their second golden dumpster at this event? I believe they could. They're looking real strong. There you see the Pandemonium team getting everything together for Sievert. Oh, a little cam reception here. There you go. MIT Combat Robotics Club. What a comeback. We got Sam in the cage. Looking so good. What's up, buddy? What are you doing in the cage, Sam?
Oh, I'm just checking out the repair. Seems pretty good. Yeah, I think they did a great job swapping this Lexan in record time, perhaps, and we can't wait to get the next match in here, so it's coming up soon, and Kyle, back to you.
I love how that one panel is like super clean, super nice. It's about to get just as dusty and dirty and burnt as the rest of them, though. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got more robot action coming your way. We've got the next semifinal matchup in the 30-pound division. That one is going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have Joshua Reinhardt coming back with KaZaA Determination. They will be taking on Corey Nason and Synthesis 30. There's our prime time crowd. A bunch of kids way past their bedtime hanging out here with us. They're gonna stay till the bitter end. They wanna see us crown 3 golden dumpster winners. They wanna see us send people to the World Championships at the end of the season. We've got one more event before the World Championships. That's right, November is our go-home show. But right now, in the 30-pound weight class, here come our next competitors. Up first, it's KaZaA Determination. Joshua Reinhardt ready to get out there with his control bot. He's got 2 glow plugs and he's not afraid to use them. He's gonna need every ounce of driving skill to win this matchup. Because on the other side of the box, they will be fighting from Team Pandemonium, Corey Nason and Synthesis 30. There are 2 types of Synthesis 30 that we see. We see the one that doesn't work, and we see the world beater. And all day long, we have seen the world beater version of Synthesis 30. Let's call this action from the booth. Ricky, Adam, what you think's gonna happen?
I think we're gonna see some flying robots today. Synthesis 30 is such a heavy hitter. Let's get into the tale of the tape. KaZaA determination from Joshua Reinhardt. He's coming from Norwich, Connecticut. He's got fire plugs as his weapon. These are hot surface igniters that are hoping to melt into his opponent's wheels. 17-9 record here at NHRL, and he is hot, hot, hot.
He's going up against Synthesis 30 from Corey Nason, fighting out of North Providence, Rhode Island. A nasty vertical spinner sitting on an 18-22 record. Their skill, they will never quit. But as you can tell from that record, you never know which Synthesis 30 you're going to get. They have so many knockouts.
Oh, this is the moment I wanted to see. Look at him signing the broken polycarbonate panels up in the pits. This has become a bit of a rite of passage. It doesn't happen very often. It takes a lot to go through even one of our layers of Lexan. So, you know, we try to commemorate it.
That is some crack.
We're going to head back to the cage. You can see this great view of Synthesis 30 staring down its opponents.
Can we go crack to crack?
We will find out very soon. Oh, you can see the glow plugs glowing.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Oh, great pin here from KaZaA. Working as a team, Synthesis 30 unable to reach. They're gonna have to let go soon. Beautiful release.
Impressive skill from Synthesis 30, but also from KaZaA Light. Or KaZaA Determination, excuse me. They have a different name in this fight.
KaZaA's release there, flipping Synthesis 30 forward onto their weapon, was such good control.
You can see some sparks flying, but those keep-away sticks are so effective on KaZaA.
Oh!
There's a big hit.
Big hit, bending the fork there on KaZaA. Staying spun up.
This match is all about careful control.
The weapon on Synthesis is so large, so much power, it tends to do equal damage to opponents and themselves. I think KaZaA here is going to try and shove Synthesis into the wall, into the floor, try to slow down that weapon with things that aren't them.
Now, I have seen almost no attempted usage of these glow plugs. They are articulated. They can stab into the opponent. And I have not seen that to any large extent so far.
No, and the judges, of course, are going to be looking for that. Not going to get a lot of aggression if you're not using your weapon. That's in the rules. But Synthesis having a hard time here.
See, there are glancing blows. I see a arm has been taken off the front of one half of KaZaA.
The other arms here very bent.
We have just about a minute left in this fight. No, there's a big hit.
We've been waiting for it. Now upside down. That's lining up another great opportunity for Synthesis.
These are very durable halves, but so far that weapon on Synthesis 30 has only tossed its opponents about. It hasn't really sunk into the meaty center.
Now KaZaA in combination weighs more than Synthesis, but each half weighs less. So if Synthesis is able to connect on a hit.
They are upside down, they are stunned, they are calling for an unstick.
Are they just stuck? Or is that weapon down?
No, the weapon is back up. It is still functioning, although it seems to be struggling at this point.
This is what we've seen from Synthesis a lot. The weapon so powerful, lasting the whole fight is difficult.
We're going to be going to the judges.
Is that the belt laying on the ground? No, that's a fork.
That is a fork, yeah. So this is interesting. Oh, the weapon is running on Synthesis 30.
Back up.
Just in the nick of time.
Intermittence, but
Interesting. So the damage is going to be heavily in favor of Synthesis 30 at this point if its drive and weapon is working. When you have one entire half of KaZaA down, you can't. It's hard to argue the control in that match, but the aggression is really what's going to be a tough judge's decision.
Yeah, without the weapons being noticeable at all on KaZaA, you've got to think that's going to hurt their aggression score.
Look at the front of that one. There you go. Weapons locked in now. Look at that.
You can hear the competitors talking about a lot of damage on those robots. You can see KaZaA, like no one can argue, this is an incredible control bot. I can only imagine if the flamethrowers had been running full blast, how this may have been different. But let's be honest here, the damage over the course of the match really stacked up on it.
Yeah. It's quite a different equation without the flames. You know, even if the flames aren't doing damage, they are counting for aggression the entire time. Without that, you've got to think it's going to hurt their score going into the judges here. Synthesis doing just enough to make it to the bell. The weapon intermittent, but passing the function test. Let's see what Sam has to say. Who have you got down there?
Well, Adam, I've got Corey himself with a Synthesis 30. And Corey, do you think that was enough to take the judge's decision?
I gave it my all. That's all I could really do, and I hope so. Go Pandemonium.
Yeah, go Pandemonium. It's tough to fight a control bot like that, but the strategy, what was your idea going in?
I thought back to when I fought Booty Brigade, and you have to focus on one at a time, but you also have to pay attention to where the other one is. Just keep moving. Pretty much that was my whole game plan, but it went out the window as soon as I started getting hit.
Something about hands and getting hit in the face. I can't wait to hear this judge's decision. Good luck, Corey, and back to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Sam. Corey drove as good of a match as he possibly could up against that multi-bot configuration of Joshua Reinhardt's determination version of KaZaA. We've got more action coming your way shortly, but we will have that judge's decision for you as soon as it comes in. As you can see, these boxes are already looking worse for the wear after that change out in between our KO show and prime time. Nothing nice lasts in these boxes. It always gets damaged eventually. You can see the nicks, the cuts, the scratches in the floor. All right, looks like we're going back to Sam so we can get our judge's decision.
Oh, we're getting a JD. Well, I'm here with Joshua, who's holding both KaZaAs, and, well, you had a tough hand dealt to you this tournament, and you've managed to really make it pretty far. How do you think that match went?
Well, we just wanted to come out here and have a good time, put on some good driving, and that was the basis. So we're just glad to be back at NHRL and driving with friends and having fun.
Very nice. You think that the judges are going to send it your way?
I feel like it's a really close one. It feels like it could be a coin toss. It was so close. At the end, his weapon was still working, which probably won't look great for us, but we also controlled the first majority of the match, so we'll see either way. But I'm just glad to be back out here and fighting again. So
I'm glad you're back too. Kyle, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sam. I just don't understand why we weren't doing the Wolverine claws with Peter Garnache over on the side there. But we do have a judge's decision from that fight. It'll be showing up at the bottom of your screen here shortly. Here it is, your winner. That's right, Corey Nason, Synthesis 30, Team Pandemonium. They will be moving on to the finals in this 30-pound bracket. So excited to see Synthesis 30 taking on Ares. That is going to be a very, very hard-hitting, fun matchup. And you know, a lot of people could have predicted that at the beginning of the day, but as we've been saying, it really depends on what kind of Synthesis 30 we were gonna get. Today, we got the best version we have ever seen. Corey Nason on a tear. All right, so let's check out our 3-pound semifinal bracket. Up at the top, we've got Jelly Baby taking on Red Panda. Down at the bottom, we've got Elytra taking on Comet. That's right, half of the semifinals comes from WPI. I cannot believe this 3-pound bracket is shaken out that way. We've got one former Golden Dumpster winner right there at the top in Jelly Baby. The only newcomer, Elytra. Really good-looking bot, powerful vertical spinner. Yeah, it's a common scene, right? We've got, let's go to our first fight right now. And our very first competitor, starting us off. That's right, Paige Clayfield, Jelly Baby. She's flexible, she's flippy, she makes other robots do the thing. Jelly Baby is absolutely impervious to damage in this event. And Jelly Baby will be fighting Sharon Liebson, WPI's Red Panda. Jaren is on another level today. He's got his swagger back and the bot is driving beautifully. Let's call this action from our play-by-play booth. Ricky, Adam, are you so excited to be back in the 3-pound bracket?
So excited to be back in the 3-pound cage. We've got Jelly Baby Paige Clayfield coming up from Aberdeen, Maryland. This is an incredibly durable lifter robot with a staggering 32-7 record here at NHRL. Wobble for the win, baby.
Going up against Red Panda from Jerome Liebson out of Alamo, California. A vertical spinner sitting on a similarly impressive record of 31-12. The skill, speed, and power.
No doubt we have seen punishing hits from Red Panda all day, and I can't wait to see how the absolutely stunningly durable Jelly Baby is going to take those hits.
Speed and power versus lithe flexibility in this fight. Couldn't be different robots. Who is going to have the design advantage? Who is going to have the driver advantage? Quite the matchup in this semifinal.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. Jelly Baby off to a strong start, but Red Panda coming right back with some good hits.
We have not seen hits like that on Jelly Baby all day, getting around the back, getting around underneath, winning the ground game a couple times here. Red Panda looking scary out of the gate.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting, Jelly Baby slowing down, being a little more cautious, not the wild and crazy attack mode that we've seen all day. And there's the little flips. We got to be careful saying little flips. That is a really impressive flipper. It really can just toss robots around effortlessly. It makes a big difference in these fights.
Great pins, great control. Being able to handle the power that we just saw Red Panda dish out.
Interesting. I'm seeing pauses from Jelly Baby. That's unusual. It may be indicative of damage.
Still good pins. Red Panda upside down, now back right side up.
Oh, that may have been a tactical error on Paige's part, flipping their opponent back onto a right side up configuration.
Paige always tries to use the weapon in these pins. Probably trying for a lift, not necessarily a flip there.
Almost undoubtedly correct.
Red Panda is the most dangerous opponent we've seen Jelly Baby take on in terms of its effectiveness against Jelly Baby. Those forks on Red Panda really working well against the comb bristle wedge style on Jelly Baby. But upside down again, and this is going to bring the advantage back in Jelly Baby's corner.
Red Panda has entered some really interesting positions. Getting stuck next to the house bot is a little unlike them. You can hear that.
It's a tale of two bots here. Red Panda right side up versus upside down completely changes the dynamic of the fight, and they're having a hard time self-righting.
Yeah, we are in the last minute of the match. There were a few great opening volleys from Red Panda, but we need to see more if they're going to have a hope in this judge's decision.
Like a little note there on the flipper of Jelly Baby. Do the thing. Red
Just
Panda,
a little encouragement.
Red Panda, very long forks, not sure it's possible, but if anyone could do it, it's Jelly Baby.
Fantastic pins here from Jelly Baby. Really showing off the design intent of this robot. Pin and pop, as I like to call it.
This has been a back and forth fight. When Red Panda was right side up, they were controlling a lot of it, but when they're upside down, it is all Jelly Baby.
We are coming down. This will be going to a judge's decision. I saw a belt produced in there. I think that must be off of Red Panda.
And seeing a belt, I don't think Jelly Baby has any belt, so it must be from Red Panda. I wonder if that had something to do with their ability to self-right or the reduced mobility while they were upside down. Paige has to be feeling good after that. A lot of pins, flips, and control, although they did get tossed around more than we're used to. Jerome Leapson, I'm sure, didn't get as many hits in as they wanted, but has to be happy with the hits they did get in.
It's hard to tell with him. Sometimes he is very just stone-faced until the news comes in. Keeps those cards close to the chest. You can see they're going to enter here, make these robots safe. And as we wait for this judge's decision, but to me, that was a pretty obvious one. In the meantime, while we wait, we're going to go up to Richard. I think he's got a little info for us in the pits.
Yes, I'm up here with Ryan of Aries. And guys, you look way too calm for going into your next fight. Talk to me about what's going on. You look ready, but are you ready?
We're pretty ready. We've been in the spot before a couple times, so we're not new to a final. Hopefully we can take it this time. It's been a rough couple events this year in the finals, so we'll see what happens.
You guys have obviously been the talk of the day. You are the bot very much where everybody thought you would be as far as in the tournament, going up against a bot that is somehow finding a way to be where they are in the tournament. What's the most intimidating thing about a bot like Synthesis 30, other than pronunciation of the name?
Corey has a clutch factor. I've seen this guy go up against some really tough bots. I was in the stands when he took down Emulsifier at Champs last year. When the spotlights are on him, he lives up to the pressure, so can't count him out. We got to give it everything because we know he will too.
But you guys are 2-0 against them, both by knockouts. What makes this one different?
It's a final. A little more stakes on the line this time, so let's see what happens.
All right, well, good luck, guys. I'm certainly looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. We're going to go back to Kyle.
I cannot tell you how excited I am about that 30-pound final. That is going to be intense. That last matchup with Paige Clayfield and Jelly Baby did very, very well in that fight. We're going to have to see how that goes. The 3-pound bracket looking pretty vicious and very full of WPI today. So, yeah, not a surprise. They're all back, and they're looking great. Right now, let's check out that judge's decision from that last fight. And unanimous judge's decision for Paige Clayfield and Jelly Baby. So that means WPI has got a bot out of the finals. Jaren Liebson and Red Panda will be going home. Excellent showing for today. Jaren definitely has their swagger back. But Paige Clayfield, will she go on to win her second golden dumpster? We'll find out tonight. Right now, though, let's go to our next fight in this 3-pound bracket. First up, it is Elytra. Big vertical weapon on this bot. Very well driven all day. Looking vicious, looking ready. And they will be fighting from WPI, Connor Howard and Comet. Connor having one of the best showings with this bot of his career. This matchup is going to be intense. We're gonna get this action called by our friends in the play-by-play booth. Adam and Ricky, more 3-pound action coming at you.
Hey, that's what we're here for. Today you have Elytra going from Tristan Hart of Greenville, Texas. A vertical spinner with a 9-1 record. It's strong and it's fast, and it has been on a tear today, showing us what it's made of.
Going up against Comet from Connor Howard out of Worcester, Massachusetts. It's also a vertical spinner with a slightly thicker one-sided bar, sitting on a 24-8 record. It's skill, fast and strong. So who's gonna win here? Strong and fast or fast and strong?
You know, it's distributive property. I think we've got a pretty fun matchup no matter who wins. There's going to be robots flying. There's going to be robots breaking. And I guarantee you, we're going to get to see something awesome. Interesting little bit of trouble here on Comet as it tries to make its way to the corner. That's not a good starting sign.
They were having issues. We saw them frantically putting this back together in the pits not too long ago. Doors are opening back up. Wonder if they're gonna try a power cycle, try and wobble something, wiggle something, see what they can do. Not a lot of time to do it, but they're gonna try.
Very interesting. That's a firm touch on that power switch. He's listening closely, trying to find out if it's happy or unhappy.
Some of these switches don't like being turned on and off so firmly. Some do.
Some don't like it, and then if you do it, they require it from then on.
Some they don't like it, and then you kind of really need to do it, and then they eventually stop.
Right. And they get lay tired, for sure. The fact that he's still listening closely leads me to believe that perhaps the robot has now sung the song of its people.
Well, they're back into their corner. Looks like we're going to get a fight going. They're moving a little bit better. Weapon is spinning up. The power switch has been properly spun strongly into place. And was it fast? Was it fast and strong switch, or was it a strong?
No, I think
it
was just a strong and normal speed switch. That's off-brand.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. Oh, interesting. Elytra struggling right off the bat.
A little bit of gremlins there. Comet hesitated, now more gremlins. We're seeing Elytra turn on and off. Both robots struggling here.
Maybe Elytra needed to switch their switch a little harder. I don't know.
No. Every hit they're turning off. How many times are they going to turn back on? Comet really struggling, getting torn apart. But every hit, Elytra stops. That is the worst feeling as a driver, to not have full confidence in your robot. Coming up on a third of the way into this fight. It's been mostly Elytra in the hits as you see them send Comet flying again, but they keep stopping. And will they make it the full distance, or can they destroy Comet before their robot gives out? Oh, massive shot there. Both side panels on Comet coming off. Comet can't move. They're trying to stay in this, hoping anything gives out in Elytra.
Doing their absolute best, but it is off and on for both of these competitors.
It looks like Elytra might be past these gremlins. Lining up the hit here, another big one. Oh, they stop again, but back to life.
1/3 of the fight remaining.
What an absolutely cursed power situation for these two robots.
Elytra now just going in for the pin, maybe thinking that's less risky than the big hits.
I was just about to say, that is a safe bet. You know you're going to get those control points for the pin.
Elytra's got some hometown fans in the chat rooting for them as they stop again and come back to life. This time, Comet able to get a hit in.
Absolutely wild.
The fans are rooting for Comet. Coming back here, wow, Elytra taking big hits.
25 seconds left. The winner here will be going on to fight Jelly Baby in the finals. Everything is on the table in this very moment.
And now Elytra having some drive issues.
It was an incredible self-right from Comet as we come down on the last 10 seconds. This will be going to the judges. I don't even know what to make of this.
Elytra with intermittent entire bot power issues throughout the fight, but dishing out consistent big hits. But what a run from Comet at the end.
Wild, wild performances all around.
How do you judge this?
Whew, it is tough. I think the functionality here that they're about to do and show off, I couldn't even keep track of it straight. At that point, these robots were kicking in and off so often, it was hard to keep track of. Let's go to the replays a minute. We can see some of those moments. Right there, Elytra slowing down and then immediately starting back up. Comet unable to capitalize on it. I don't know what you do with that. That was a golden moment. It was wasted, but not through fault of a driver. Wild situations.
You can see after so many hits, Elytra just stopping and powering down. They had a good run in the middle. Gremlins popping up again at the end. Suddenly, the Gremlins on Comet going away. Beautiful self-right there from Comet. The team with Elytra and Tristan Hart there, happy with their performance at the end. We're seeing the function test here as Comet was flipped over, able to move a little bit on one side, able to spin up a little bit. Elytra was having some drive issues at the end of the fight. Maybe a little percussive maintenance on Comet throughout the fight there, knocking him back into action.
A bit here and there, and it seemed effective. It's, what do they call them? Micro sleeps. You know, maybe it just needs a little more rest between its matches. It is a quick turnaround time here at the House of Havoc.
Quite an exciting back and forth match for two robots battling gremlins as we get late into the night.
Packed house out there. We're going to go to Sam. I bet he can harness some of that energy.
I hope I can. I am with both Tristan and Connor from that last match. I'm going to start with you, Tristan. Those brownouts, do you know what was going on there?
I've had this receiver for a long time, so it's probably just on his last legs, to be honest.
All right, thank you. And Connor, you managed to improve as that fight progressed. What was up with that?
Honestly, I have no clue. I'm gonna have to go look at it. That's the first time I've had that problem, but I'm testing a full brand new Comet right now, so I'm happy to just make it this far.
Well, both of these bots were looking good in spite of those troubles in this match. We're gonna wait to hear from the judges, and until then, back to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Sam. Yes, we are heavily awaiting that judge's decision. What a weird matchup. What a strange ending to it. We'll see how that goes. Both teams did an excellent job. Tristan Hart driving beautifully when he was able to drive. And then there was that weird comeback, that resurrection of Comet at the end of the match there. The judges have a lot to chew on. We'll have to see what they have to say. Either way, 3-pound bracket looking great. The winner of this matchup gets to go on and face Jelly Baby in the finals in the 3-pound division. Jelly Baby may be walking out with their second golden dumpster all time, and that is absolutely incredible. It's a very short list of people who have won the golden dumpster in the 3-pound division with a control bot, And if Paige Clayfield and Jelly Baby win tonight, they will be 2 of those people? They will have done it twice, which is absolutely insane. But in the meantime, let's pivot to our 12-pound semifinal. We're going to look at the bracket and see where we're at heading into it. Up at the top of the bracket, we've got Slam Plan taking on Sievert. Down at the bottom of the bracket, we've got Touro Jr. taking on Maximizer. These bots are definitely not facing the types that they want to face. Well, let me correct that. Sievert is very happy to be facing a bot like Slam Plan, and Maximizer is very happy to be facing a bot like Touro Jr. They win the rock, paper, scissors as far as that goes, but will they win the matchup? Slam Plan has been known to defeat horizontal spinners in the past, and Touro Jr. is just one of the most durable bricks we have ever seen in the box here at National Havoc Robot League. I'm excited to see this one. I'm excited to see how it shakes out. Will the reigning defending world champion Slam Plan make it to the end and earn a golden dumpster before the world championships at the end of the season? All right, but now we are going to await our judges' decision coming very shortly for that last 3-pound fight. Who will be facing off against Paige Clayfield and Jelly Baby? We are 2 votes in, waiting for that 3rd vote. Personally, if I had to call it, I wouldn't. I don't judge for a reason. There's no reason for me to. That's other people's job, and they are the professionals. I personally find that match to be very frustrating because of how it ended. But this just in, we have a final judge's decision. And your winner is Elytra by unanimous judge's decision. He looks as surprised as anybody. Congratulations, Tristan Hart. You are the winner. I am very proud of you. Fix that brownout problem. I hope you even know what that brownout problem is. But yeah, Texas looking strong, going in up against Paige Clayfield. Now, very interestingly, he already beat 2 very low-slung bots, almost indestructible just by having a low ground game. So he's already got an effective strategy against bots like Paige Clayfield's. It might work for him this time. It might not. If he browns out, though, she's going to take full advantage of that fight, and Jelly Baby will get its 2nd golden dumpster. And now we're ready to get into the 12-pound bracket. Mateus Freitas, Rio de Janeiro's very own Rio Bots, and Touro Jr. It's just an indestructible little brick of total domination coming out to the box, ready to go. And they will be facing from Ohio, that's right, Team Defective, Jake and Maximizer! This is going to be a battle for the ages. Jake's looking ready to go. What version of the bot did he put into the box? We are about to find out. Meanwhile, our friends in the play-by-play booth will be calling this action for us. Ricky, Adam, are you ready for some 12-pound destruction?
So incredibly ready.
It's Touro Jr. from Mateus Freitas out of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Of epic drum spinner sitting at 16-6. Their skill, strong driving.
Absolutely, and they're going up against Maximizer from Jake out of Louisville, Kentucky. They have a Thagomizer-style horizontal with a staggering 35-9 record, and this robot has been iterated, improved, and dialed in after so many fights. It is firing on more cylinders than its body has room for.
His box of attachments must weigh more than other people's entire box of robots. He's got so much modularity here.
This is a Swiss Army knife of pain and destruction. and yet somehow it always comes out looking like a death metal's dream. I don't, it's incredible.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots.
Away
fight.
we go. Interesting start for both robots. Touro Jr. immediately up on the rails. They are stuck.
Are they going to
Looks
have
like
to
they
use
can
their
wiggle
unstick?
off.
No.
Jake is going to make sure that that's not required. Oh, that's the death spin. Very interesting strategy. A Thagomizer-style robot like Maximizer wants to swing around and hit the juicy tender bits. Well, Touro Jr. is a brick.
Oh. Maximizer doing a little pirouette there. It's odd. Touro Jr. tanking most of these hits just fine. Maximizer on the back end of more of these large hits as we're a third of the way through this fight. Touro Jr. on the back foot immediately and sent flying there. As Jake props Touro Jr. up against the wall directly in front of him. Trying to get at that juicy top plate while they were there. Unable to really deliver it.
Wow,
Weapon
that
to
was
weapon
a
hit.
great hit. Throwing Touro Jr. up against the wall again. It's a miracle that they have not gotten stuck yet.
These robots from Brazil are designed really well. It's quite hard to get them stuck with the angles and the wheels and the geometry.
Yes.
They tend to fall back.
Very clever work. They've fought so much and so hard over so many years, it's hard to find a new spot to get them stuck.
But it does look like Touro Jr. has lost a side of drive here, trying to crab walk around and against a fully functional.
And there's a great point of contact against the titanium wheel cleats on Maximizer.
Maximizer able to escape. Still going in straight with the weapon here.
Oh, the wheel's starting to delaminate a bit on Touro Jr.
That is not going to help their maneuverability issues. Maximizer going for the pin here. Going to have to release soon. There's the release.
Excellent pin. It seems like the mobility on Touro Jr. has actually improved.
Touro Jr.
slightly.
bucking a bit here as that tread spins
wow!
around.
What a move.
Maximizer doling out the hits a little bit at a time here. Touro Jr. mobility decreasing a little bit as this fight goes on. A tale of two halves here as Touro Jr. came out strong, Maximizer ends strong. And when you're going to a judge's decision, you want to go out on a high note.
Of course, the winner here will be going on to fight in the finals. We don't know who yet against, but we're going to go into a replay for now and see how this fight shook out.
Function tests here as we're going to go take a look at the replays. Maximizer going flying early on, taking the worst of these hits from a fully functional Touro Jr. But as it went on, they got more and more pins, and they could chew away at the wheels, chew away at the armor, chew away at Touro Jr.'s mobility.
Yeah, once that wheel started to tear apart, the drive side issues started to be shared a little more equally. The maneuverability was gone, but the driving never stopped being precise. Even with problems, they were able to still deliver hits through almost the entire match. That was a great class in how to do the most you can with what you got left.
Tremendous driving, as always, from Robots, but Jake and Maximizer have to be feeling pretty good to end on all of those successive pins and sticks.
Very, very impressive. I heard some interesting noises there, Cage Side. I have some concerns about what just happened. I heard some noises while the doors open. I may have been malfunctions. May have been
Wonder if
misused.
someone hit the transmitter.
Possibly. Sometimes weird things break too. So this is why we have safety locks. Every now and then, your electronics, don't listen to your switches. Your switch can get broken into an on state. You got to have those safety locks in there, so just in case, the weapon's not going to spin up, not going to hurt anybody. We're going to go to Sam. I think he's Cage Side. He can give us a little more information on what just happened and the whole fight.
I am. I didn't really see what happened in the box after the fight, but I did see what happened during the fight, and so did Gwen, who is Jake's teammate in this one. Jake said he's got to go repair the bot.
Oh, he's getting right on up there. He's got no time to spare. He's getting right on up, making sure he's getting ready for his next fight. So he's left me with the short end of the stick to do all the interviews.
Just you. It seems like there's a whole team of support back here.
Yeah, absolutely. All throughout the day, we've had people from TD, Honey Cracked. We've even had some Panda people helping out today. It's like Jake said it really well earlier this week. Maximize is a group project, and you can see like plenty of people always come together just to make this crazy machine work.
Well, we are going to have the judges' decision shortly, but in the meantime, it is right now. We've got it right now. Here we go. And it's Maximizer takes the win. It takes the win. Kyle, back to you.
Heading towards the finals, Jake Hoffman, Maximizer, Team Defectives got the win. That's right. So excited for Jake. Jake is one of the most passionate builders and drivers in this game, going up against the traditionally passionate Brazilian builders. Look at Jake already breaking it down, getting it ready. He's made so many changes to this bot for this event. Worked very hard. Let me know about a lot of those changes this morning when we were talking through it. The bot looks phenomenal. Who will they be facing in the final today? Will it be Team Pandemonium Sievert? Will it be Team Huge's Slam Plan? So let's meet our competitors and find out who Jake will be facing. First up, from Team Huge, it's Brendan Steele and Slam Plan! This guy's been destroying bots all day with this powerful vertical spinner. And they will be facing from Team Pandemonium. It's Matt Lantry and it's Sievert. This is exactly what you don't want to face when you're a huge style robot. It's a horizontal spinner, and it's driven by one of the best wheel men in the game, Matt Lantry. We're gonna go to our friends in the play-by-play booth and find out who's going to the 12-pound finals.
Excited to do. We've got Slam Plan from Brendan Steele, Brunswick, Ohio. This is a high-mounted big wheel vert with an impeccable 16-1 record, raining chaos from above, bringing a special slanted wheel configuration to this fight.
Going up against Sievert from Matthew Lantry out of Hillsdale, New Jersey. It's a nasty horizontal spinner, 9-3 record, and their skill is that they've got the best weapon type to take on Slam Plan. It's a big horizontal spinner, and those plastic wheels don't like that.
They really, really don't. That's a sharp blade. It can do a lot of damage, but this might be the ace in the hole for Slam Plan. Look at those canted wheels. They are stanced out.
They are stanced and also a lot of duct tape.
Yeah, well, actually, it's very interesting proprietary approach that they have here, but these canted wheels are hopefully going to give them a better shot at resisting some of these impacts from their opponent. When they're at an angle, they can deflect a little better, at least in theory. We'll see how it works out.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. No robot making. There's a big hit. Weapon to weapon, neither one winning the exchange. Oh my God!
Wow!
Sievert has been disintegrated, skewered like a piece of chicken on a weekend shish kebab get together. Absolutely incredible! I told you folks earlier, that weapon on Slam Plan is like a hot knife through butter. It is a Hatari Hanzo Katana when it comes to TPU, and this is exactly what that means.
What is happening? It is just like destroyed.
It absolutely destroyed. It's completely mangled. Metal parts are bent, plastic parts are sliced, electronics are torn asunder and rendered askew in the arena. This is ultimate destruction. I cannot say enough how impressed I am.
They're going to have a lot of bot parts to go home with after this one because there's nothing left but parts of that bot.
I hope they brought a body bag. We're going right into the replays, and let me tell you, it's about 2 hits.
The first
one
hit.
Pop, sure, yeah, no problem. We've seen that before, no biggie. Boom!
I thought Sievert's got a good chance here. After the first hit, I was proven very wrong after the second hit.
Nothing but pieces. It's like they swallowed a stick of dynamite. Ridiculous destruction in this match.
I thought explosives were banned, Ricky.
Flamethrowers and explosives, technically a little bit different. That is an explosive weapon. We've got our safety crew coming in. They have got to disentangle these two.
That's going to be tough. That is embedded 6 inches through that piece of TPU.
Listen, they are farther through than they are, than they have left to go through. You know, you can only go halfway into the woods, right? And otherwise, you're coming back out again.
The bots are now one. They will fight together as Sievert plan in the finals.
Brundlefly, the robot. Yeah, this is wonky. Look at the batteries just laying there. This is a miracle. This isn't just a pile of smoke.
And you got to be careful you don't turn it into a pile of smoke trying to separate the two.
Yeah, absolutely wild. There it is.
Look at the thickness of that material, and it's bent like it's a piece of paper.
Yeah, it looks like it bent 3/8, maybe half-inch aluminum plate in addition to going through. Yeah, just fantastic.
These are 12-pounders, and that thickness of armor is usually good enough for a top panel on a 30. And Slam Plan is slicing through it like it's not there. By some miracle, missed all of the batteries that are now strewn about. Why bother to turn it off? Just unplug a few batteries.
Yeah, at that point, it's faster and easier. Man alive. What a fight. What destruction. Folks, robot fans of all persuasions, you just got championship level destruction in a semi-final match. That's fantastic.
Sometimes you lose a fight and you think, oh, I was so close. You know, I could have had that one. You're not going to have any second thoughts about that one.
Sievert's walking home feeling confident that they did, in fact, lose, and there is some comfort in that.
Yeah, there's comfort. No, you know what? I couldn't have driven that any different. That was just, that's how it was going to play out.
Wild. Absolutely wild. Now, in case it's not obvious, that means Slam Plan will be moving on to fight Maximizer in the finals today. That is going to be one heck of a fight.
Maximizer, a very different robot, but with a very similar frame geometry. Could we see a repeat? Let's throw it down to Kyle and see what he's thinking.
Guys, I gotta tell you, just 9 months ago at the World Championships in 2024, we saw a matchup between Slam Plan and Maximizer, and Slam Plan dismantled Maximizer in that fight, just slowly chopped them apart, took their belts off, took the bot apart, and went on to win the World Championships in the 12-pound division. Now, I know this about Jake. Jake doesn't lose a match the same way twice, and he very, very often does not lose to the same opponent twice. So that's going to be a very different final today than what we saw back in 2024. But for right now, let's get ready for the 30-pound final. The heaviest hitters in the game are coming into the big box next. We're going to check on the bracket to see how they got there. Synthesis 30 having the best day of their career, going through Phenomenon, destroying KaZaA Determination, and now sitting on the brink of a golden dumpster in the 30-pound division. But in their way, former dumpster winner, that's right, MIT's God of War Ares. They took out the Overlord, they took out the Deadrise, and they are standing on the cusp of their second career golden dumpster today. Let's get this action going. In the box, they'll be coming down shortly. I know this for sure. This is going to be a destructive match. Will we have broken glass again? Will we have broken bots again? This audience doesn't even know what's coming. That MIT team has been working feverishly getting their bot ready. Corey Nason and Team Pandemonium has been getting their bot ready. So let's meet our first competitor. From MIT Combat Robotics, the God of War, Ryan Duarte and Ares. It hits like a ton of bricks, and it is in rare form today. And they will be fighting from Team Pandemonium. It's Corey Nason. It's Synthesis 30! Corey is having the best day of his 30-pound career today. And they are going up against the beast from MIT. Will it be the God of War? Will it be Synthesis 30? We're gonna go to our friends in the play-by-play booth to call these hits. Maybe just one hit. We'll find out in just a few minutes. Ricky, Adam, take it away.
How excited are you, Adam? We're gonna go right into the tail of the tape. Ares from Ryan Duarte, Chula Vista, California, with one of the nastiest vertical spinners of combat robotic history, a 22-8 record. This God of War is coming for blood.
Going up against Synthesis 30 and Corey Nason out of North Providence, Rhode Island. Also a vertical spinner. This one a nasty disc, sitting at 19 and 22. Always a coin flip which Synthesis you're gonna get. Tonight, we've been getting the best of Synthesis. Their skill will never quit. No quitting all night long. Can they take home the dumpster?
We'll find out soon enough. What a matchup. This does not get better than this in the 30-pound bracket. So much energy in these competitors. So much potential for disemboweled robots. Honestly, so much potential for another interesting day at Arena Maintenance Land.
And you know, Ares had a lot to fix after the last fight, but I see they did manage to get the R glued back on.
Well, their priorities are in order, Adam.
Yeah.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots,
Away
fight.
we go. A wobbly start from Synthesis 30 and a cautious start from Ares.
Ooh, Sturdy going, flying, pieces coming off. What was that?
A big piece of front armor from Synthesis 30 has been torn off. Oh!
Getting launched.
Wow, another huge hit.
Synthesis 30 does not usually like taking hits like this.
The batteries are out and exposed on Synthesis 30. Aries is victory dancing. The weapon has stopped. This is gonna be a decisive knockout. I did see a weapon twitch, but it ain't gonna be enough. Your winner by knockout, Aries! Incredible work from Ryan Duarte and the entire Aries team. So much effort goes into this robot. It has been so dialed in.
Aries unbeaten all day long, the #1 seed, showing why they're the #1 seed. Team Pandemonium, Corey Nason, disappointed in the loss, but Aries looking strong as we head toward the championship in December. Can they pull it off with a Golden Brett later this year? They've got to be one of the favorites.
Absolutely one of the favorites. They may well be the top seed going into that event. Oh, what a moment. The pride is real. We're gonna go into replays, see some of that action all over again. Synthesis 30 immediately flying end over end. Weaponry tearing through its armor. This was all Aries all the time.
Yeah, that fight, front to back, Aries, nothing doing for Synthesis 30 the entire time, losing chunk after chunk, and then the batteries falling out on this hit at the end.
Incredibly impressive.
Aries seeing it immediately, backing off, no need for a fire. They want to get that dumpster as quick as possible, no delay.
We're gonna head over to Kyle. Kyle, what can you tell us?
Well, I've got the winners of that matchup right here. This is the MIT Combat Robotics team. Standing next to me is Ryan Duarte. Ryan, you got 2 dumpsters. You got a qualification to the World Championships 2025. Are you guys going home with a Golden Brett?
I'd love to. We'll see what happens in December, but we're going to make sure we bring the best version of Aries we can, and this might be it. We'll see.
Well, Ryan, there is literally one thing left for you guys to do. This is your 30-pound golden dumpster. Hold it high!
Such an amazing team, that MIT crew. They came together and really put on some amazing fights in this tournament today, and the Golden Dumpster couldn't have gone to a better team, to a better robot. There's a reason they are ranked #1, and it's because they win fights. And we're gonna set up this 3-pound final right now. Let's take a look at the bracket and how they got here. All right, Jelly Baby had to go through ColdSnap and Red Panda to make it to this final. Elytra took on Hook'em and Comet and is now facing the Do the Thing master, Jelly Baby. All right, let's meet our first fighter. We've got Paige Clayfield and Jelly Baby. And she will be up against
Tristan and Elytra. All the way from Texas, the last Texas robot still in the tournament, holding it down for the Lone Star State. All right, our friends in the booth, Ricky and Adam, are gonna call this final match in the 3-pound class. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Sam. We're gonna jump right into the tail of the tape. We've got Jelly Baby from Paige Clayfield, Aberdeen, Maryland's finest lifter robot, a 33-7 robot, and it will wobble its way to victory and wobble for the win.
Going up against Elytra from Tristan Hart out of Greenville, Texas, a vertical spinner sitting on a 10-1 record in only 2 events here at NHRL. Their skill, strong and fast, which as we now know is better than fast and strong.
That's a great point. We did find that out decisively.
This has been a theme all day, is Jelly Baby taking out big spinners through immense amounts of control. But the big, thin vert of Elytra could slice through the TPU.
Yeah, this is the matchup that Paige has, I don't know if she's thought about it this way, but this is the one that could take her down. That is a slicey, dicey robot she's going up against.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots,
Away
fight.
we go. Let's see what a hot knife through jelly looks like.
Elytra trying to spin up here. Jelly Baby with the pin right out of the gate. Oh!
And it's stuck, but it frees itself. Boy, these seem like equally matched outer forks, but the inner baleen forks on Jelly Baby.
We saw
very hard to counter.
Elytra in the previous fight going up against similar style of robot, able to get through the wedges, the TPU here, having a harder time.
Yeah, those wedges and wedges soaked out in a roof shot. Jelly Baby thrown into the air.
That's what we saw before. Can Elytra keep it up enough? Can they get the damage?
I gotta think this is gonna be the way of this match. A lot of control by Jelly Baby and then big pops by Elytra.
It may seem like it, but Jelly Baby isn't 100% TPU. There are some electronics in there.
You know, it's amazing for the way it bends that it can manage to have anything that isn't a liquid or a gel in that robot.
Elytra trying to find those juicy electric cores inside of the jelly outer. But another great pin from Paige Clayfield. Pushed up against Brett again here. As you see them counting down the pin length, they don't want to hold it too long. The crowd chanting, "Do the thing." They want Elytra stuck. They want Jelly Baby with another dumpster. What an upset this could be, though, if the 26 seed could win here. And another good pop. That's what they need in the final minute of this fight.
Wow,
That's what
and now
getting.
they're chaining them. That is the magic they need to capitalize on. Once Jelly Baby is
They need to find
unstable,
that core.
all bets are off.
A lot of good shots there. Jelly Baby still moving at 100%, unable to damage them. And another pin. That was a big series, but was only about 5 or 10 seconds of a 3-minute match, and unable to deal damage. That could be the deciding factor. Jelly Baby is just so well armored.
Absolutely wild. And then you see Elytra just hitting themselves off the ground. Not what they want to be doing. It's so critical to chain those hits with a robot like Jelly Baby. You can see these two showing off their functionality now. This will be going to the judges. That lifter definitely looking spry.
The lifter working. We didn't see as much use out of the lifter this fight as we do tend to see from Jelly Baby. Could that be a deciding factor? Certainly Jelly Baby had a lot of pins, a lot of control, a lot of pushing. Elytra with a few really good sequences. Both robots coming in fairly unscathed. As usual, really like not being a judge.
Yeah, I understand. Sometimes I miss my days of judging, but no, it's nice being in the box here with you. It's nice being able to watch these fights up close, yell at them, and know that my friends at home, my family at home, and my bot family at home are all yelling with me. Let's take a moment to yell together. You can see this match must have been so frustrating for Elytra. They know these moments happen. They knew they could deliver these hits.
All these big hits just not in exactly where they needed to be. Couldn't get through those big chunks of TPU, couldn't find that juicy core.
The effort it takes to chain these together properly and really deliver those killing blows is stunning. You know, and especially a driver like Paige is just not going to let that happen.
I wonder if we're going to see these spinners come in with different blade types to go against these TPU robots. The KE type blades that are designed to go up against metals don't seem to be functioning here, but we've seen tonight the saw blade robots able to slice through the TPU.
We've seen robots like Jelly Baby literally cut in half in the past with just a high-speed saw blade.
So I wonder if we'll see an evolution there because it didn't quite work out for Elytra. Let's hop over to Richard in the pits and see if he has an update for us.
Yeah, sorry guys, no updates up here, just that bittersweet moment of every prime time where the pits are starting to empty out. Obviously, everybody that's still in it is downstairs getting ready. Even those that aren't fighting are getting ready to watch the fights. But man, what a prime time, what a day it's been from the prelims to the brand new KO show. All the action that has led from this morning to right now has been well worth the wait of the break. 3 months is just too dang long, guys. So happy to be back, happy to see all of you, everybody in the pits. Whether you won or lost, it's just good to be back in the House of Havoc for NHRL action. So we're going to wrap things up here, send it back down to you guys, but so good to be back in action.
Thank you so much, Richard. It is so good to be back after that long summer break. I missed all these fighting robots, and I missed the people that control and build them. And, well, speaking of those people that control and build them, they are missing this judge's decision. We are just waiting for it now. You can see Paige Clayfield. She's got a golden dumpster already this year. You can see Tristan there with Elytra. He is hoping for his very first golden dumpster ever. And we are all hoping for a quick judge's decision. You know it's not tough with these control bots. You have to get that balance right. What's the damage? Who was the aggressor? Who controlled the match? That's what our judges are balancing. That is what's running through these competitors' heads as they think back on the fight in anticipation. We've got 1 of our 3 votes in, 2 remain. It's not a high-pressure situation. The fight's already happened, you two. This just in. We have a judge's decision. And your winner is Jelly Baby. 9-9-10 across the board, unanimous decision, her second golden dumpster of the season. Congratulations to Paige Clayfield and Jelly Baby.
Paige Clayfield, this feels really familiar. So there have been 4 golden dumpster winners in the 3-pound division that are control-style robots, and 2 of them are Jelly Baby and Paige Clayfield. What is that? Paige, so proud of you. What a great showing today. You feeling okay?
I've been feeling not great this whole time, but I'm glad I was able to win.
Well, Paige, it's over. There's literally only one thing left to do. This is yours. Hold it high and be proud.
Just one match remaining. Our 12-pound final is the last one of the night, and we have two heavy hitters on opposite ends of the spectrum. And let's look at our bracket right now, see how these two robots got here. Slam Plan has just been slicing through everyone, including Robo-Cat and Sievert. Maximizer has been given the right hook to all its opponents, Xenomorph and the Brazilian Touro Jr. What's gonna happen in this final is the vertical big wheel, overhead style, straddle you and smack your top plate of Slam Plan gonna be enough to take on this right hook, Thagamizer style of Maximizer. We're just gonna have to find out. I am so excited. Slam Plan has been the reigning champion all year. This is their first tournament we've seen them at. This is their shot to qualify for December. Maximizer has been on a tear today. Their right hooks have been impeccable, just doing exactly what this Thagamizer style robot is intended to do. And well, I can't wait to see how they hold up with their top armor against this big wheel bot. I can't wait to see how the big wheels hold up against the horizontal swings of Maximizer. I'm just so excited, and so are y'all in the stands. That's right. Thank you all so much for coming out to the House of Havoc. We got one more amazing fight for y'all. And you hear them chanting, one more fight. That's right, one more fight. All right, we're gonna send it right to Kyle for these walkouts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for one more fight. It is your 12-pound Golden Dumpster final, ladies and gentlemen. First up, from Team Huge, it's Brendan Steele and Slam Plan. This bot has been ripping people up all day long. It's the rematch we've all been waiting for from last year's semifinal of the World Championships, ladies and gentlemen. And their opponent from Ohio, it's Jake, and it's Maximizer! You know Jake has been rolling this fight around in his head for 9 months, waiting for this rematch. I cannot wait to see what he has configured for this bot. What will he do to survive the onslaught of Slam Plan? To our friends in the booth to call this fight, Ricky, Adam, last fight of the night, let's go!
Right into the tail of the tape, Slam Plan. Coming from Brendan Steele. Wait, the tail of the tape has disappeared. It'll be back any moment. Here we go. Tail of the tape. The 12-pound final. Slam Plan from Brendan Steele of Brunswick, Ohio. He's bringing that big wheel, high mounted vert, a 17-1 record, raining chaos from above with a sharpened blade that makes opponents shake in their boots.
Going up against Maximizer from Jake out of Louisville, Kentucky. A Thagomizer style horizontal disc spinner sitting at a 36-9 record. So many fights, so many iterations. Jake has attachments for every possible opponent. After getting disemboweled by Slam Plan earlier, what can Jake bring to prevent that this time? We're seeing Slam Plan running these canted wheels to try and avoid the force, the horizontal force from the spinner, deflect it a little bit. That worked out great in their last fight. They're gonna try and repeat the destruction here.
Oh, interesting. We have problems. Slam Plan is not turning on properly.
Oh, we're gonna have a power cycle. We've seen a lot of gremlins in this box today.
Yeah, it is rich with gremlins. They're gonna do a quick tweak, a little plug, a little unplug, a little wibble, a little wobble, maybe a couple of power cycles. Seems like maybe something is jamming up the drive on the left-hand side. Oh, it's a crunchy gearbox, Adam. That's never good.
Just spinning around until the crunch leaves the gearbox.
Right. That can take a lot of spinning around.
Exits the gearbox, no longer there. I'm hearing the good beeps. I think I heard the good beeps there.
I think I heard good beeps as well, but you know, we would have preferred to hear the good beeps a couple minutes ago. Look at the blade that Jake is running on Maximizer. He's running inverted to start. In fact, I wouldn't even call that inverted. He's now in overcutter configuration.
Yeah.
And he is running a blade that looks like it could get incredible purchase into those spoked wheels. Sounds like we're ready for a fight. Let's wait for it to begin.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. Maximizer up to full speed, a little surprising.
Slam Plan not up to speed.
No, not at all, but there it goes.
Nope.
No, perhaps that was just being kicked by its opponent. Those are big hits it's taking without a weapon.
Maximizer might be able to get revenge here because it doesn't look like Slam Plan has any weapon to speak of. And those wheels are just sitting ducks.
You can see the treads are being torn off one at a time, but the wheels themselves still in pretty good shape on Slam Plan.
Can they do anything to get that weapon started?
Even if not, they need a... Oh, Maximizer slowing down for a moment there.
Sometimes these weapons, maybe it just didn't arm. Maybe they need to leave off the trigger, center it, get that 0 signal so the ESCs turn on.
Those wheels are getting mighty smooth.
Getting a little slippery. Oh, Maximizer hitting the wall.
Yeah, we rarely see Maximizer dance around quite that much. Seems like the left-hand drive is suffering on Maximizer as well. This is still anybody's game as we approach the halfway point of the match.
Now, this is going to count as damage, all the treads being ripped off. Not substantial damage, it's still working, but it is functional damage to drive. It's not driving as well anymore.
It's true, yeah. This is not just aesthetics or ablative damage. You can see this driving style from Maximizer, absolute chaos.
Just chipping away here. They've removed all the rubber, and now they're starting to do damage to those wheels, which are now interfering with their own wheelie bars.
Yeah, the wheelie bars are critical on Slam Plan. They're not usually in that much danger, but when you start cutting down the giant's knees, suddenly they become tasty morsels.
Slam Plan has been dominant all night because of that weapon, and without it, they have nothing. They can't push. All they can do is take hit after hit.
Stopped on Maximizer.
Wow.
Is it done for good? Only
Now,
time will tell.
This is really interesting because Slam Plan came into this with a non-functional weapon.
True.
But Maximizer's weapon was working at the start and no longer is. How is that going to affect the scoring as it looks like we're going to a judge's decision?
Yeah, very likely a judge's decision at this point. Certainly Slam Plan has suffered some drive damage, but it is still driving. Maximizer also still driving. It's driving. Oh, it's back! That's an important moment, Adam.
With the weapon back on Maximizer.
Oh, and it's down again.
See if they spin it up here in the function test. I think maybe they were just being conservative.
Very possible. It's going to be important.
Because if that weapon works, I think this is a fairly easy judge's decision.
Right. If it doesn't, though, it's suddenly a question in the air. He's going to try. They are trying right now.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
And
There
the
we
weapon is
go.
spinning. That's it.
I think we all know how this JD is going to go with a fully functional Maximizer and a less so functional Slam Plan.
The last time Jake had to face down Slam Plan, they had no answer. Clearly, they became a little more prepared.
Gremlins strike again. I wonder if, as they tried to repair the drive, something happened to the weapon, or was it a separate gremlin altogether? But certainly not the fight Slam Plan wanted to come out and perform. Maximizer, though, hitting at 100%, able to take advantage of Slam Plan's inoperable weapon. What that means is that this is going to be the first upset of a #1 seed tonight.
Absolutely wild. You can see some of these big hits. There's a lot of dancing early in the match, but in the process of that dancing, the spokes, the tread, if you will, of Slam Plan was just methodically ripped off the wheels. One after another. Those wheels have never taken such a beating, at least this season, maybe ever, in the box, and kept on the robot. Yeah. That's what I think is really so impressive here. That robot walked out of here, it drove out of here, still functional. It could have been anyone's fight had that weapon.
You know, they got to feel bad about, you know, most likely losing this fight, but Slam Plan's wheels being able to take that level of damage has got to be confidence-inducing as they wait for the championships later this year. They've got to work on that weapon reliability. They got to maybe work on the tape armor, but the wheels really did hold up well.
We're going to head over to Sam. I think he's cage side. I think he can tell us a little bit of info about these competitors and how they're feeling right now. Sam?
Yeah, I'm close enough. I can see him on a screen. And we have the judge's decision in for this 12-pound final match. And here it is. Your winner, Maximizer! All right, Kyle, you know what to do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jake Hoffman standing next to me. He's gotten second place in this tournament twice this year. Back in 2023, he walked home with 2 golden dumpsters. And guess what, Jake? You are not the second place at the ball anymore, my friend. No, no, no. How does it feel?
I want to thank my team, my friends. I hope all of you all see yourselves in this robot the way that I see you. I love you all. Thank you. And I want to say, there's been a lot of bad stuff going on recently, and I want to say to my fellow trans builders, my fellow gay builders, my fellow Jewish builders, my fellow Palestinian builders, my fellow migrant builders, this is your home. No one can take this from you. No one can take this from you. As far as this robot's concerned, all I care about is who's next. Woo!
Yeah. Jake Hoffman, there is one thing left to do, Jake. Jake, for the 3rd time, This is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Kyle.
Hold it high and be proud. Yep.
Folks, from all of us here at NHRL, we want to thank you so much for joining us throughout this season. And here at the House of Havoc, where it is literally everyone's home, thank you so much. If you are looking to get started in fighting robots, make sure you check out Havoc Academy, and make sure you come out for our next tournament on November 1st. We will be here live from the House of Havoc, and you can always catch it on our YouTube. And until then, thank you and goodbye.
You're always welcome here.